tailback as a Crusader, and so hopefully blocking tonight can continue to open the way for Sam.
It's been a solid couple of weeks for Sam Elliott. Mentioned back-to-back career games, averaging that 9.3 yards per carry in the last 2 weeks. And he really gave a lot of credit to the work done in practice, his scout team, and helping him to get prepared for opponents each week.
I think just, having a strong scout team helps each week. If they can come in and give us good looks, then I can just, read my cuts better and just go off them. So I think as long as we have a good scout team, it just gives us that game-like feel.
And how much does that help him going against one of the best run defenses in the league in practice every day?
Well, I mean, iron sharpens iron, and so him going against guys, that makes them better, and it makes him better where he's actually going against guys that are pretty experienced and pretty talented.
You talked about the offensive line and the work that they have done, and that has certainly been a magnified spot here to start the year. And Coach Warner was very complimentary of his offensive line, saying best game of the year at El Dorado on Friday. We talked to Jarrett Christensen during the weekend, a group that's still hungry, a young group that still knows that they have something to prove and looking to get better.
Yeah, I think we still need some more work, though. We're still having some problems. We're missing some backers, missing just some easy blocks that we shouldn't be missing very much.
The thing I like about that is the humbleness there that, hey, we still have a ways to go. Stay hungry, keep getting better. That's only going to pay dividends down the road.
Yeah, perfectionism is something that is good to see from players and from coaches, because you're exactly right. That's how you get better, always looking for a way to improve, because even if you think you've had a perfect game, there's always something you can get better at.
You mentioned Colin Rowland and the night he had at fullback. 5 carries, 67 yards, a touchdown. That is a career best for him. What did you see? We made him our player of the game Friday night. What did you see from him in particular that you were impressed with?
Well, out of the eye, the fullback has a huge job. I mean, he is the battering ram. He's the guy that's leading. You have your linemen that pull, your guards and your tackles, your tight ends that kind of take care of that front line. But that fullback, getting his block down and kicking the guy the right direction is so important. And Colin Rowland last week, time after time after time, just waylaid devastating blocks at the point of attack, and Sam was able to I love it when you see a tailback put his hand on his fullback's back. That's exactly what you should see. And last week, Colin did such a nice job up front that Sam was able to just follow him and then read his cut.
After being out a year with an injury and trying to come back and really get into varsity shape, and that's a tough task for any athlete.
It was a big adjustment for me. I missed all last season with an elbow injury, so the last time I played was against freshmen, and now I'm, playing against people older than me and just varsity players, so obviously the game got a lot faster, and I had to learn a lot back to where I want to be, and I still have a lot to work on.
How big is that for a guy missing your sophomore year? Last time you played freshman, coming in now as a junior, starting fullback, a little bit of catch-up there.
Well, there's a huge jump from 8th grade to freshman ball. There's a huge jump from freshman ball to JV. And there's a big jump, again, from JV to varsity. So basically, he missed a whole step in that. And to get better and just make those little, progressions and get better. And that's one of the reasons why, typically in a good team for Bueller,
Bueller put up 308 total yards of offense, 8.6 yards a carry. Again, 4 of that on the ground. El Dorado themselves, 64 plays for 306. They had double the number of plays, double the number of time of possession that Bueller had in the game, yet only 1 offensive touchdown. And I know that Bueller's defense, particularly in the first half, gave up some yards on Friday, but I really thought they stood up to the test, third quarter on got much, much better.
They did. And, there's an old adage in football, bending, not breaking. And the Bueller defense really did a great job because it's really not a huge deal if your opponent can move the ball down the football field. But if you can keep them out of the end zone, I mean, ultimately you can roll up as many yards as you want, but they don't determine the winner based on how many yards you roll up. And, our defense did a great job last week. And, last week had such a good chance of being a shutout, because their only first half score was kind of a disputable incident, and then them scoring at the very end as time expired. I mean, the defense can be nothing but proud with how they played last week.
El Dorado offensively scored on just 1 of 7 drives. Bueller red zone 4 times. The only points they come away was against the second-string defense. 4 trips into the red zone. That is tough to rebound from, but they're going to have to, well, they don't have to get refocused this week because they're not playing, but that was a tough night for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've gotten better down there, and, I really do think that, we visited this week, Aaron. I mean, they've got a chance of being, a 2-loss team possibly going into the playoffs, and I mean, they could have a very winnable first-round playoff game, which El Dorado, A, just having a playoff game at home for the first round is a huge deal, and B, if they win a playoff game there, they'll be throwing a parade for the Wildcats up the road.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that we've focused on a lot, too, and we talked with Coach Warner about it in practice on Monday, and that is getting his quarterback going. Bradley Neal, 15 of 44 for 177 yards through 3 games. He threw for just 14 yards. Now, he didn't really have to do much last week, but just 34% to really getting him comfortable again in the pocket. Coaches talked a lot about he got hit so much last year. He's almost anticipating it now, getting him comfortable in the pocket to where he can get his feet set and get into his throw. Quarterback is so much about timing. So
it's all about timing, and if Bradley can have some success making some early throws in a game, I mean, that's always such an important thing. If quarterback can complete a couple early passes, kind of get their confidence going, and I know the efficiency is something that Coach Warner's huge on, and rightfully so, and that's something that'll be fun to continue to hopefully see that percentage go up as the year goes on.
Well, Bueller, a tough test against a 1-2 Augusta team. You look at their record, you look at who they played, and not that impressive, but this is a team that thought they would be a contender this year in the 4A West. Squad back from a team that won some games last year and just has not gone the way they wanted it to. I know that they will play tough tonight. They're always physical. They're big. They run a similar flex, although they're going to throw a little bit more, and so it's going to be important tonight for those guys on defense to your keys, assignments down, be where you're
doing Bueller Augusta games over the years. Trick plays seem to be something that happens when you play against Augusta. They usually are a team that takes a lot of pride in being hitters. This usually is one of the more physical games in Division III for Bueller year in and year out. And so, I mean, you can count on some trick plays and some physicality this evening.
Yeah, we mentioned the discipline of that defense. Colin Rowland, one of the linebackers, talked about this week, and really have to be focused on that side of the ball and work together as a team.
The linebackers, I mean, the whole defense has to trust everyone. Everyone has a job, and as much as we want to make every play and stuff, you got to trust that your teammates are going to do their job and be what they're supposed to be, and we just need to be in the right spot to make plays.
And I feel like the linebackers key in that flex offense and stopping the flex offense, because the idea is you get those speed guys to the edges, and you need your linebackers to cut those lanes off.
Yeah, and they've got to cover a lot of ground and not get caught up in the trash, because there's going to be so many pulling offensive linemen thrown at you that you really have to kind of look at.
Here tonight in week number 5 of the season, Bueller coming in 2-0 in the league, 2-1 overall. El Dorado right behind them, and Augusta each tied at 1-1. The Orioles at 1-3 overall. Mac still at the top, 4-0 undefeated, although they've got a tough challenge as they go to Topeka to take on DeSoto tonight. Mac 4-0 and a 2-0 overall, ranked 5th in the state. Bueller coming in this week ranked number 7. Much more to come on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game as we'll armor up with Coach Calls to talk a little bit about the defense. We'll hear from Coach Warner and break down our opponent tonight, the Orioles, and look at what they've done so far this season. Reminder, we are streaming online tonight and on your phone with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless, your mobile, and need to stay connected online at nextechwireless.com. And, of course, don't forget our live video streaming via the Crusader Sports Network on YouTube. In part by HCU Investment and Insurance. And by Phoenix Restoration. Back with more of our pregame right after this. By Phoenix Restoration. Back with more.
You're listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Visit Midway Motors on 30th Street in Hutchinson or online at midwaymotors.com. Coming up, the game continues.
Game day. Go to watch and cheer. We live and breathe it. Our squad is full of passion, snacks, and spirit, and we needed a participate with us. Motors helped us find the winning ride from pre-gaming to post-game celebrations and everything in between. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Your game day car at midwaymotors.com.
Come visit us at Bueller Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have you while you spend time with us. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting 2768 to schedule your next appointment or email online at drdaldes@gmail.com. Bueller Dental with a gentle touch.
Hutch Rec provider. We're passionate in bringing healthy living opportunities through our youth and adult sports, wellness and fitness classes, and several of your community spirit provider, offering endless recreational opportunities. And on our Hutch Rec Facebook page.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies Night.
And welcome back on our Midway Motor tonight. Time for our history. We'll take you back to our Augusta came to Bueller on homecoming night, and in that game, Josh Williams set a school record for a punt return for a touchdown, a 90-yarder. By the way, owns the record 3 punt returns for touchdowns in his career. That came in 60 and 61.
Yes.
For that team. Finished 5-4 under head coach Chuck Porter.
Yes, I can tell a Josh Williamson story here after the national anthem.
All right, we're going to pause and go down for our national anthem tonight, performed by the Augusta High School Marching Band. And our national anthem. Marching band from AHS as we gave you our This Day in Crusader. Josh Williams with a 90-yard return.
Williamson. I got to get that on there. But he, great, super good guy, actually works in the KU athletic department. Had a, believe it or not, with those 2 punt returns, he was a track guy, had a college track career. finished up at KU, and super great guy.
Mentioned the Augusta Orioles coming in at 1-2, 1-1 in the league so far this season. They lost a tough one at Rose Hill last Friday, 26-28. They were down 14 in the second half. Missed two-point conversion at the end of the game to tie. They've also lost to El Dorado in a tight one, and Coffeyville, a 20-12 win over Circle. You know, the thing that I've noticed is all four of those games, 2 touchdowns or less. So even the games they've lost this year, they've been right in.
Yeah, they haven't been blown out this year whatsoever, and so I mean it's going to be imperative for the Crusaders to try to get some separation, because Augusta's got to have the mentality of they've been in so many close games this year that finally one of these close games the ball is going to bounce the right way for them.
They went 5-5 last season, lost to Andover Central in the second round of the playoffs. Their last winning season came in 2017. Josh Philback really came in and sparked this program, guided them to since I think a little bit of disappointment there. They thought that this might be a year when they get back up there, and it hasn't happened so far. That's a dangerous team that's motivated and hungry. Talked about it last week. If you're going to be the favorite, you can't let a team like that hang around.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Bueller obviously is the favorite coming into this evening's game. But yeah, it's going to be really important for the Crusaders to get some separation from them, because Augusta's a very well-coached team. You know, Coach Philbeck's been here for quite some time, has built some continuity, and this is a program, there's kids on this team that know how to win.
They run that base flex bone similar to El Dorado. 75% of the time they'll run. Big up front, that's the thing that I noticed. They average 256 along the offensive line, so there's some beef up there that can work in your favor, or, you know, hey, so we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be one of the big matchups tonight, our quickness on the D-line versus their size on their O-line.
Defensively, the 3-4, they'll move their linebackers around a lot, disguise and blitz again, similar to what El Dorado did, and they can put up some yards offensively. Last week in that Rose Hill loss, 343 yards of total offense, 213 of that rushing. So as we'll talk to Coach Steve Warner coming up here, Angel, they're going to be physical. There's going to be a little bit of trickeration, as you talked about, some plays you're going to have to watch out for at different times tonight. Augusta will throw something at you that's not in their normal playbook.
Yeah,
so
it'll be interesting to see when the first bit of that happens this year or this evening, because you know that there will be some end arounds or throwbacks, you name it, we're probably going to see it tonight.
Oh. The Bueller Booster Club by Manna Wyatt and Rice, by the Prairie Bank of Kansas, and by Dix Phillips 66. We enjoy each Friday night visiting with the defensive coordinator, Coach Coles, as we armor up and talk about defensively the game plan for the Crusaders, the Black Knights, tonight here in Augusta. Colorado last Friday felt like second half you got better at defending against that flex offense as the game went along.
Yeah, I teams and shotgun teams for, you know, the first 3 games that we played, and definitely a different speed coming at you, different angles, that are really hard to simulate in practice. And our scout team did a great job doing it. But it's just different than when you have a team that runs it every single day and every play and knows what's going on. So it took us a little bit of a adjustment period. You know, we that we were adjusting to it, and the kids did a really good job of picking up those adjustments. And yeah, I thought later in the game we got much better at stopping what they wanted to do well.
Tonight in Augusta, you'll face a team that runs some of that same flex. They've got another big bruiser back, and Ryan Andrews, a senior, who's 2+, and he'll be another tough one to bring down.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's about 6 foot, about 215, runs hard. You know, he started. I know that at least the last 2 years, he's a bruiser. Their L and their R, their slot backs are good athletes and good kids. So we're definitely going to need to improve our tackling. You know, stop that downhill run before they can get the steam going.
Maybe a little different assignment for your defensive backs in that don't know how much they'll throw tonight, but we expect them to at least throw a little more than El Dorado did.
A little bit. They're throwing probably about 30, I want to say, or 23, 24% of the time. So they still do put the ball in the air a little bit, and we've always got to be aware of that. That's one of the advantages of running an offense like that is they're going to suck you up, they're going to suck you up, they're going to suck you up, and then hit you with play action, and that's where their play action passes are effective is because of the run game. So we've just got to read our keys, play fundamental football, and across the board that should help us out.
So I hear you and Coach Warner all the time talking about reading those keys. Some of those, as far as whether you're playing the linebacker, defensive back, whatever it is, trying to figure out running play, pass play. What are some things that you're looking for?
A lot of it has to do with offensive line play and what the offensive linemen are doing. Some of our positions key the backfield, some of our positions key the offensive line, the uncovered lineman. It really depends what position you're playing, and does things a little bit differently. And so therefore that's where the film study comes in, and then especially with our DBs of watching their keys on film and seeing what they do on plays that are pass plays versus plays that are running plays, and getting that mental game down. So
it can really be a little bit different from team to team each week and the things that you're looking for.
Without a doubt. It's definitely an individual team thing, and that's, like I said, where that film study comes in. Our kids have done a pretty good job with that.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck on the field tonight. Appreciate your time, and have a good one. Thank you.
Always appreciate it.
That is our Armored Up segment tonight with Coach Coles, talking some defense as we get ready to take on Augusta here in Week 5. More of our pregame right after this.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Still to come, we'll take you around the league with a look at other action in the AVCTL. And Chris Shank brings you tonight's keys to the game. The Midway Motors Drive to the Game on HKFM.
This is Lisa with Rise Up Reno. Do you have 30 minutes a week to help change the life of a young person? Do you realize that youth are less likely to start 615-4018. Rise Up Reno.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And back here at Hillier Stadium in Augusta as we go around the league tonight. Big games out there. Andover Central still undefeated at Valley Center. DeSoto and McPherson. McPherson, of course, had to find a new opponent this week after El Dorado quarantined. And so McPherson and DeSoto, that's a big. That was ranked in 5A. And so that'll be a score we'll keep track of out of Topeka tonight. Mulvane at Coffeyville, Perry Lecompton is at Winfield, Rose Hill at Wellington, Clearwater at Halstead, Heston at Andale, and Wichita Trinity is at Collegiate. 4A rankings stay the same this week. Miege, although they are 0-2 and could go 0-3 after tonight. That is so odd. They stay at number 1. First and 4, St. James Academy 5, and Bueller is 7. A little bit cooler tonight, Christopher, than it was a week ago at this time. Our kickoff conditions brought to you by Phoenix Restoration, the company most trusted to deliver quality recovery services when disaster strikes. Call 662-0.
Well, current conditions here at Hillier Stadium in Augusta, it's 6 hours. And so once that sun goes down, temperatures should dip to the upper to mid 50s by the end of the game this evening.
All right, coming up, of course, we'll have tonight's keys to the game. In Week 5, the Crusaders and the in this series. The only loss in the Warner era came back in his first year in 2006. Peter averaging 25-14 win over the series, which goes all the way back to 1976. We'll hear from Coach when we come back. Our Midway Motors Drive to the Game here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
You're on a Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Midway Motors, come join the family. Next, we hear the pregame thoughts of head coach Steve Warner as the Midway Drive to the Game continues on HKFM.
The veterinarians and staff at Abilene Animal Hospital would like to wish Coach Warner and the Bueller Crusaders a healthy and successful season. The same level of hard work, dedication, and commitment to excel on the field is what we do at Abilene Animal Hospital. We continue to invest in new diagnostics and technology to make every effort to give you and your pet the best care possible. Go Crusaders!
And welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Time now for pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. We're in Augusta tonight, Coach. This has been a tough, physical place to win football games. You've been successful at doing that, but been a lot of tough ones over the years. They always play well against us.
They really do, especially at home, and there's just something about it that they play hard, and they obviously they want to beat us. They haven't beat us in a long time, and it'll be a physical game. It always is. Coach Philbeck has them ready, and he does a great job with his scheme. So they always throw something new at us too that we have to adjust for and make a change. I remember one year that they had a pass route that we had to change everything that we do to be able to cover that route, and it's something to pick on us with, and we'll have to adjust, and hopefully it doesn't cost a touchdown. And then same thing with his defense. He'll do a lot of things to just change to make.
Momentum is a thing we talk a lot about in sports. You think you've seen that building the last couple of weeks, so you think that carries over for you? I think momentum is huge in sports, especially in football, and I think we have more confidence now. As coaches, we have more confidence. We didn't know where we were. We had to take a week off, and then we came back and played a Winfield team and should have scored 35 points or 40 because we had three chances to score and we didn't, and that's just confidence. That's finishing. That's believing in the guy beside you. And I just feel like we're playing with a higher level now. And every week I can see us getting better. And it's fun. More fun when they're a young team that we are, and you see the kids develop and have that confidence. Still want to be successful in that, and talk about the confidence and what be gaining. You look at the success that Sam has had the last 2 weeks, and they're a huge part of that, and that's got to help them out. So. Well, it really does. And Trevor Cooper and Jarrett Christensen on the big side have done a great job, and Bo Van Bruggen's over there too. And another one that I think probably the most improved player of the year. It's a toss-up between Deontay and Corey Gilbert. Corey is doing a great job on the offensive line, and he didn't play last year, and he regrets it, and he's getting better every week. But you run behind Big Trevor, and Trevor gets. If you watch him very often, he's got great feet. I mean, people like to slant, they like to pinch, and that's creating havoc for our power play. And his feet are really good. He weighs 310 pounds, but his feet are tremendous. And he stays with blocks. Last week we got him even going what we call TDA, getting downfield when the ball's going away from him. We call it touchdown alley. And he was down there in front of Sam, and just fun to watch him get after it. And then Jarrett's getting better. The two of them work very well. And we do like to run behind our big side, and everybody knows it. So that's where we've got to be successful. Defensively, they'll try and throw a little bit more, so your D-backs, although they're going to work out of that flex some, your D-backs have really got to read their keys well and make sure they stay home on those passing plays. Without a doubt, and take their read steps, and that's a big key. Taking your read steps, knowing whether it's a run or pass, and then breaking on the ball, finding your receiver or stopping the run. And if we can do that, then we'll be in great shape. Well, hopefully a good game tonight. Here, week 5. It's crazy. So it is very crazy that we're already halfway through the regular season, and we're pushing on. Thank goodness every week we get a game. We're very happy about that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Best of luck. We'll talk to you after the game. Thank you. That's Coach Steve Warner here, back with more right after this.
You've been listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Join head coach Steve Warner for the Crusader Coaches Show, Monday nights at 6:30. The first half kickoff is coming up next. You're listening to Bueller Crusader Football on HKFM.
From their beginnings in 1989, Wifco Steel Products has grown to be the premier supplier of storage tank hardware in the U.S. and Canada, and they're still growing. Apply today at wifcosp.com. Wifco Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Bueller Crusader Football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, Christopher, Bueller won the coin toss, deferred to the second half. Augusta will start with the football, and quickly some keys to victory.
All right, the 3 keys. Number 1, almost 270 offensive line, so it's going to be really important for our D linemen to get off the blocks and fill those holes. Number 2, got to know your assignments. Augusta plays some games flipping between the 3-4 and the 4-3, so you got to know your assignments, and most importantly, got to avoid the trap game. thinking about McPherson when you step onto this field tonight, because Augusta's a team, they can beat you if you're not out them.
Well, Jeffrey Neal, 6'1", 190, will handle the kickoff duties tonight from the 40-yard line, set to kick toward the north end zone here at Hillier Stadium on a Bueller night. Beautiful night for football. There it is. Short kick to the 20. Up to the 35, 32-yard line. On the return is Eli Wilcox.
Getting involved in on the tackle, and an injured Oriole down on the field. That is Brandon Sanders, a 5'7", 160-pound senior. He's across on the far hash at about the 32.
They're going to mark the ball all the way up to the 37 for Augusta is where they will start with it. Their flex offense. You'll see Ryan Andrews, Tyler McConaughey, and Duke Litzleiter in the backfield. Tonight, receivers Hunter Anderson, Eli Wilcox, Sebastian Flower. Up front, talked about that big line on the left side, Jace Christensen, Dylan Slusser, Caleb Husselman, the center, Nate Volkman, and Zach Timberlake on the right side. There is an Oriole down, and Augusta has been kind of back and forth with quarterbacks. Jet Hand started last week, the senior at 6'1", 160. Ryan Andrews, or check that Hunter Anderson has also had some time at quarterback this year. We hope that the Augusta player is okay as we have a timeout here. Our injury timeout brought to you by Man Wyatt Ice Injury Attorneys. Helping people is their passion. Serving their clients with trusted legal advice. Online at manwyattattorneys.legal. Or call 877-266-2400. Take a moment as well to tell you we are live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth at Allen Samuels of Hutch. They're dedicated to helping you find the model that best suits your needs. Online at allensamuelshutch.com. Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Come by. Let's be friends. Our video partners this week from the Crusader Sports Network, Colton Hines and Tyler Adams. Upstairs, fellas, and good view tonight. A little breezy upstairs to start the game, though, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's a great view, but, yeah, it's a little chilly outside. We got a slight of breeze, and now the temp just keeps going down and down, so we're bundled up here.
All right, we'll send you up some hot chocolate as the injured Crusader was Brandon Sanders, a 5'7" senior, part of that kickoff return team, and he is being helped off the field.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be okay.
Defensively for the Crusaders in that patented 4-3, and boy, what a great job that front group has done. James Blick, who came in midway through last year to be a starter. Bo Van Bro, I think Dalen Coffey, Sam Elliott. You heard Colin Roy pregame talking about being assignment sound, and Tanner Tustin, Cameron and Deontay Campbell along Perez and Mason Lipford in the secondary. Augusta first and 10. He gave him a yard forward progress. The quarterback is Jet Hand. It'll be 9.
Yeah, our senior spotlight player, James Blick, showing
in the flat. .215. Similar to what we saw last week there at the back, pushes the ball across the 40 to the 43.
Ryan Andrews back.
Ashwart, Augusta left to right. He's not good at converting third and fourth downs. The 40. This is something we also saw El Dorado do last week, is going for it here in these situations. 4th and 2, and they're going to put their quarterback Tonight is a little bit of wildcat action as well.
Yeah, I think
trips left here.
See if they're going to punt or kick, or they're going to.
They do throw, but it's low and incomplete. Trying a quick throw to the near side, and the intended target over there for the Orioles was Caden McDaniel, a 6.
McDaniel never even turned around. He went up and was blocking our corner on the near side, so the Crusaders hold Augusta on their first 4th down try of the evening.
Well, the thing about that, on that turnover on downs, it's going to give Bueller fantastic field position here in Augusta territory with 10-12 to play, and the Crusaders are going to have it at the Augusta 46-yard line.
Bueller's only let their opponents convert 3 times this season on 4th down.
Bradley Neal will step in under center and quarterback. As they put slot back in motion, they pitch it to the I-back. That'll be Sam Elliott. 2 great weeks and off to a good start here in his first run of the night around the left side. Forward progress across the 40 and up to, let's see where they mark him. It is going to be a first down, enough for the first. Good spot at the 35. I thought that was
how he's off to a great start there on his first carry of the evening.
So forward progress to the 35. 10 there for Sam Elliott. Had his longest run, 30+ of the season last week. Looking to pick up right where he left off. First and 10 Crusaders. No score, just underway. 9:57 to go in the first. They go with the slot back. And Coffee to the right. And a handoff up the middle. Big carry, big hole, 30-25 down to the 20-yard line. Sam Elliott using some help from that slot back Dallin Coffee to get the knee down at the 22.
Yeah, the Crusaders originally had Van Bruggen and Coffee here on the near side. Then they motioned into the far side. And great call that time as Sam Elliott just followed the lead blocks through the hole for another 10+ yard pickup.
2 great early runs here on this opening series for the Crusaders. Looking to punch it in first. 2 receivers near side. They throw in the slot. Caught by Henderson at the 15. He'll drag it down inside the 15 to near the 12-yard line. So Brad Neal 1 for 1 on pass attempts in the game. And that's a good way to start, and finds Ryan Henderson just Hendo's 2nd catch of the year. Remember, he had that big one to open the year in the Goddard.
Call just another little hit near side, easy pitch and catch, and Henderson
for 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1 with Bradley out of the gun. Wants to throw again, and pass is batted down. He was looking for his tight end Van Bruggen over the middle at the 10-yard line, but one of those big defensive linemen for Augusta got up and got upon that, knocked it down.
Yeah, Riley Buck was the culprit, and Buck not incredibly tall, 5'5", but 240. And I tell you what, Aaron, I think he looked like he could have jumped out of the gym on that one. He got upstairs for that.
I don't mind that 2nd and short passing opportunity there.
Yep, it's a great call because the Crusaders still have 2 downs to get.
At the 13, 8:50 showing on the first quarter clock, and no score. They go with 2 wingbacks, this time at a single setback. Elliott, Sam has got the first down to the 10. Following his blockers on the left side. First down at the 10. Interesting what Coach said in pregame tonight, that he thinks Augusta's going to want to take away their big side of the line.
Yeah, I mean, the Crusaders typically do run behind Trevor Cooper and the big guys. I mean, they put Cooper and Christensen together, and so the Crusaders can probably maybe run some counters away from that.
I would expect to see more of those double wings or double tight formations to get some extra guys up front tonight. First and goal at the 10. Nothing, 8:26 to go in the first. Brad under center out of the eye, wants to throw, and overthrows his intended target on the near side. That is Dalen Coffey, the junior. On this drive, it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And there was a whole flock of Orioles all around Coffey that time. Good thing he threw that one hot so nobody could pick it.
Augusta, Bueller in their road white uniforms, maroon trim, maroon helmets tonight, black pants, orange tops, black helmets, white trim for Augusta. Out of the eye on 2nd and 10. And they'll go back to the ground game, and Sam Elliott, big hole 5, and he's going to be right down to the goal line. They're going to mark him down, knee down at the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line.
Great job by the offensive line as they just caved in the entire right side of the Augusta D line. Nice blocking up front. Good pulling play that time made by Gabe Barnes.
Well, 6 plays so far in this drive that started at the Augusta 46-yard line. Bueller looking to score first. Augusta with a 4-and-out turnover on downs in their first series. Out of the eye, they go with an extra back in the backfield. Extra blocker, and Sam is going to walk into the end zone. Bueller. Crusaders, Sam Elliott, first of the night. And I believe that'll be his 9th of the season. 44 to play in the first.
Coming into tonight's game, Bueller had a 10-1 advantage on rushing touchdowns. So the 11th rushing touchdown for the Crusaders. Great job by the boys up front blocking, and a nice cookie cutter drive to get the Crusaders going here on the first possession.
And Sam could have just walked in there as there was just a massive hole. He just went in there untouched.
Here's Cody Weiscarver on for the PAT from the 10, and he will boot it high and through. Cody has been solid the last 2 games. Puts his team up 7-0 with 7:44 to play in the first. You're listening to Crusader football on HKFM and on the Crusader Sports Network.
Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, we'll keep you apprised of other scores tonight in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard as Bueller leads at 7-0. Cody Weiscarver knocks it through. And Cody now 7 of 8 on PATs. He was perfect last week. Here's Jeffrey Neal to kick from the 40. Bueller leading 7-0 in a 1-yard touchdown run by Sam the Man. At the 20, it'll be taken there near side. He's stumbling with the a sophomore, and they will mark him close to the 34-yard line.
Levi Atherton and Dylan Coffey in on the stop for Bueller.
Augusta couldn't convert on a 4th and 1 on their first series tonight. They will start this drive at their own 32 with 7:37 to play in the first. In a 7-0 game, they work out of the flex with Jet Hand under center. They go with a slot in motion Hand, a keeper, and he is wrapped up in the backfield. Chris, that's something we saw last week out of the flex against El Dorado. When El Dorado's quarterback tried to run, he did not have a lot of success. And now, a couple of times, Hand has called his own number, and it's not worked tonight.
Yeah, the Crusaders are reading the read keys correctly with that option. Great job by James Blick again with another tackle.
No gain at the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Bueller's got 9 guys up in the box. Big hole up the middle, though. And a tough run by Ryan Andrews to the 40. Great job by his offensive line, and he is going to be right at the first down stick, and they'll move the chains. 42-yard line, 10 yards. Bueller put 9 in the box that time, but Augusta's offensive line did a great job of getting Andrews downfield.
Yeah, it's the first time Bueller secondary has had to make the tackles. Lipford and Perez were the ones in on the stop.
Now a no huddle. Quick snap here as they give it back to Andrews on the ground. He'll have forward progress across the 45 to the 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on first down. And we're looking at 2nd down and 6 coming up here with 6:29 to play in the first.
This would be big if Bueller could force Augusta into another 3rd and long situation.
Orioles come to the line with it. Down. Hand under center. Back to Andrews, stood up at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for maybe a yard and then is gang tackled there. And the ball comes loose, and Bueller's going to have it. Turnover, a fumble, and the initial reaction is that the Crusaders have it.
Well, Matthew Eddy, the JV quarterback, he's a sophomore with the big stick, jarred it loose and came up with the football. And what a pop by the sophomore here in this first quarter.
He's really been getting some playing time here early and forces a turnover. And Bueller's going to have it. Levi Perez came up to help on that from his safety position. And they marked the ball at the 48, and Bueller's going to have it for the second time tonight in Augusta territory.
Well, of course, Eddie's older brother playing for Bethel, so there's some football pedigree within that family.
So the ball at the 48. Bueller started their first drive at the 46. 1st and 10, up 7-0. Looking to go up 2 scores early. They go trips left with Neal under center on 1st down. And they give it to the fullback. Turns right side run. Big hole across the 40. And down close to the 37-yard line. And a great 1st down run by Colin Rowland.
That's the beautiful thing about having a player like Sam Elliott on your team. He is such a great decoy. The entire Augusta defense was just watching where Sam Elliott went, and it sprung Rowland for a big run on 1st down.
That is a 15-yard carry, longest of the year for Colin Rowland. Up to the 37-yard line. It is 1st and 10. We've got a timeout. I want to call timeout here. 5:50 left in the first. 7-0. And the work.
At H&R Block, we're here all year at tax time or anytime to help get answers for your tax questions. Stop by H&R Block in Hutch at 2nd and Washington, on the Square in Lyons, or in downtown Ellsworth today. Get your taxes won at H&R Block.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Moundridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Moundridge. Member NCUA.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Out of the timeout, 5:50 to play here in the first, and Bueller leading 7-0 here on homecoming night in Augusta tonight, week 5 from Hillier Stadium. Aaron West along with Chris Shank, Tyler Adams, and Colton Hines as they go with the 2 slot backs and 2 tights on 1st down, and Sam Elliott breaks out of a tackle to the 25, up the sideline, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Crusaders!
One of Sam Elliott's longest runs on the year as he takes it in from the 38-yard line untouched. Great job by the boys up front, getting their blocks down and helping to spring Sam for the big one.
And that's definitely his longest touchdown run of the season, if not close to his longest run of the season.
Front with 2 tight ends, Christopher, and the 2 wingbacks that time, and Sam Elliott had all kinds of room around the right side into the end zone. All Sam does is score touchdowns.
Campaign.
And Weiscarver will boot it through. 5:39 now left in the first. A 1-yard run followed by a 37-yard touchdown run for Sam Elliott. 14-0 Crusaders here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Coverage on the sports page at adastroradio.com. You're listening to Bueller Crusader football on HKFM.
Mann, Wyatt & Rice Personal Injury Law Firm is celebrating 20 years of helping victims recover their health and lives after a serious accident. Serving Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado, our success stems from valuing people over profits. We look forward to another 20 years of fighting for victims' rights. Mann, Wyatt & Rice attorneys and staff wish Bueller athletes the best of luck this season. Mann, Wyatt & Rice, trusted, experienced, compassionate.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Crusaders. 7 plays, 46 yards on their first series tonight. 3 plays, 48 on their second. Here's Neal's kick to the 20. It is going to be taken there. Return near side 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. One man to beat. And shoved out of bounds at the Bueller 35 on that return by Eli Wilcox. And thank you, Deontay Campbell, for saving a touchdown.
Yeah, the freshman kicker, Jeffrey Neal, tried to get there, got a little piece of him, but it was Deontay Campbell that saved the Crusaders bacon. And now Augusta with their first life of the evening as they have the ball now in Bueller territory to begin their third drive of the night. They're
going to be at the Bueller 41. In their two previous drives, a turnover on downs and a fumble recovered by Matthew Eddy. 1st and 10 at the 40. Jet Hand will be under center out of the flex. It is going to be Andrews on the handoff, and not much there. Stopped for no gain. Big scrum at the line of scrimmage and nothing to show for it.
Yeah, leading the charge that time for the Crusaders, number 69, Tanner Tushin. And I tell you what, Bueller doing a great job, Aaron. I'm sure you've seen we are swarming to the football so well right now. There was 8 hats in on that tackle.
5:07 left in quarter number 1, a 14-0 score. Crusaders on top here from Augusta. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Orioles, moving left to right. They go with the slot in motion around the left side. Up the middle, 35 breaks out of a tackle. And close to a first down. See where they mark him. Shy of the 30 at the 28.
Jarrett Christensen, one of the defensive tackles, making the stop. And Aaron, mark my words, they're going to run a tailback pass tonight. That play setting that thing up right there.
31-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. Jet Hand on the keeper. Falls forward for 2 yards, and he'll have the first down. Forward progress up to the 27. He picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Augusta went with a quick count that time. It kind of caught the Bueller defenders off guard as they were the signals from the sideline.
All right, it'll be 1st and 10. Orioles try to get into the Bueller red zone here. 4:27 to go in the first quarter. They go with the wing in motion again, and looking for yards up the middle across the 30. Forward progress to the 29, so a loss of yards. A loss of 2 on the play is going to set up a 2nd down and about 12.
Another stop by Jarrett Christensen, being really physical out there so far this evening for Bueller.
2nd down and 11 Orioles on the Bueller 29-yard line.
Bueller quickly out of the huddle, as is Augusta here with 26 on the clock. They'll snap it and hand it off again.
Great job by the Bueller defenders staying at home that time. Coming up with the stop was Colin Rowland coming up from the near linebacking spot.
And that is Tyler McConaughey. The senior normally wears number 10, wearing number 30 tonight. And he has forward progress 8, so picks up a yard. And another 3rd and long here, another key situation for this Augusta offense, Chris.
Be ready for some misdirection or some trickeration as they go 4 wide.
4 wide receivers with Hand under center, single setback. He's going to pitch it to Andrews around the far side, stood up at the 25. I thought for a second he might pass the football.
Yes.
Instead, he tries to run with it. Gets across the 25 to the 24, picks up 4 yards, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, when they're tailback, it's happened a couple times, acting like they're going to maybe throw the football, but great job that time by Deontay Campbell fighting through the block. Maybe got blocked in the back that time by Eli Wilcox, but he fought him off, was able to force the play back inside even though he didn't make the play. Now a big 4th and long.
So that brings up a 4th down and 7, and it looks 4th and 7 here from the 24. Hand wants to pass, fakes, now throws, ball bobbled and caught. Incomplete. There is a flag down in the backfield. It's inside the 10 on the far side. The ball was thrown high, and it took Wilcox out of bounds. There is a flag down at the 30.
It's going to be a hold on Augusta, so Bueller will decline the penalty and get the ball back on downs, but great coverage that time by Mason Lipford. The defender got a little bit, the receiver got a little bit behind him, but Lipford was able to leap up and kind of throw the receiver off his route. But great job by Lipford there.
Well, 2 good stats if you're on Bueller's defense tonight. Augusta 0 for 2 passing, and 0 for 2 on 4th down tries.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier tonight. So far, opponents for Bueller, only 3 4th down conversions on the season, and Bueller pushing that percentage points further down as they continue to get the stops on 4th.
Bueller's going to have this ball from their own 24, up 14-0, 2:24 to go in the first, out of the I formation. And they'll hand off to Elliott across the 25, breaks a hole, still running, 35-40, still running, up to the 45, and dragging Orioles with him as he goes all the way up to the 47-yard line. You know, his center of gravity is so low at 5'7". He is, if you don't get really low, he's so hard to bring down.
Well, you talked about dragging defenders. It was Peyton Lewis for Augusta. I mean, he went for a ride. I mean, I think Sam took him for about 10 yards. But great strength and balance by Sam Elliott at that time. And good job by the boys up front as they did some nice cut blocks up front to help spring him.
And at the Bueller 47, they'll put Neal out of the gun. The single setback, 2 receivers left. Bradley looking to throw, now goes long, caught by Henderson over the shoulder inside the 25. What a catch by Rhino, down to the 23, 1st and 10 Crusaders.
Well, Aaron, you've talked all season long about how it's all about timing in the passing game, and that time Bradley Neal had the opportunity where he could have tucked and run it, but it looked like Henderson maybe was going to get a step on the defender, and there was such a small crease that he was able to fit that ball in, but he had faith in his receiver to get there. The Crusaders have a 1st and 10 right outside the red zone.
That'll be a 30-yard strike and a 1st and 10 down at the 23. $1:50 left in the first. Trips right out of the shotgun, looking to throw again in the slot. It's caught inside the 10 and down to close to the 9-yard line. Who caught that pass over on the far side was Mason Lipford with a nice catch. We're going to officially mark it out at the 7.
Well, Lipford's done a good job on defense, and I believe it's his first varsity catch of the season, but you keep hearing about how great Lipford's hands are. It's good to see him working him and making that nice catch down inside the 10.
And this week, Bradley, it seems like he has a little more touch on the ball, being able to throw it well.
That was a 16-yard pass. It is 1st and goal at the 7. They'll keep it on the ground, forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. Elliott on the carry and no gain, 2nd down and goal.
Well, the thing you're starting to see with the Bueller offense, we've got a great rushing attack. It's good to see the passing game starting to have some success and having things clicking. And you mentioned, I mean, Bradley just looks a lot more confident this evening, and he's continuing to get better.
2 great passes, one to Lipford, one to Henderson on this drive. 2nd and goal at the 7. 52 seconds to go in the first quarter. They'll run out of the I formation. Bradley under center, takes it from Gilbert, hands off Elliott, cuts back left into the end zone. Back, touchdown, Crusaders.
Great block thrown at the line of attack that time by Gabe Barnes as he kicked out the defensive end. And Sam Elliott doing what he does best, taking it to the house for 6.
This is the dominant Bueller of the past coming out tonight. It's great to see.
3 possessions, 3.
Well, and a lot of teams have struggles just getting 3 touchdowns just in the whole game. Well, Sam has a hat trick in the first quarter.
All right, Cody Weiscarver has one as well. He is 3 for 3 on PATs. The extra point up and good. And Bueller with a 21-0 advantage. 43 seconds left in the first on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Rise Up Reno Prevention Network wants to encourage you to coach your kids through more than just homework. Start having short, frequent conversations about alcohol and other drugs. Talking with your kids is the first step towards keeping them safe. For tips on how and when to start the conversation, visit www.underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. Check us out at riseupreno.org. Rise Up Reno.
Fall is in the air, and so is a crisp new deal at Nextech Wireless. Loyal customers and newbies alike, trade in your tired old device. Get a new phone on us. Stuck somewhere else? No worries. We'll pay off your contract so you're free to switch and free to choose your new free phone. So visit the right people with the right deals and get the best phone on the best network. It's time for something different. Nextech Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Augusta return on the kickoff across the 25 and up to the 30-yard line. That's where the Orioles will have it for the third time tonight. 36 seconds left. Chris, some early scores in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard.
Well, the big score of note that we're chasing up out of Washburn Rural, the neutral site that DeSoto and McPherson are playing at. They are tied up at 7 apiece after the end of the first quarter. Some other scores from elsewhere on the Ad Astra Sports Network. Canton Galva leading Little River 16-6 that game on Kicks Country 106.
From the left hash mark, Augusta first and 10 at their own 26-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. And forward progress up to the 28-yard line. It'll be gain of 2 by Andrews on first down.
Well, the most critical thing for Bueller right now, things are rolling, things are going well. You got to keep that intensity and that edge up. You can't have a mental letdown or think this game's in the bag, as there's still a lot of football left to play.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 at the 28. They stay in the flex. Single receivers either side. Orioles 0 for 2 on 4th down. They've turned it over on downs twice and will not get another snap off before the end of the first. End of 1 here at Hillier Stadium in Augusta on this Friday night mid-season. 21-0. Our score, Crusaders up on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
First National Bank is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. We have an experienced staff prepared to provide you with a variety of banking solutions. Please visit our website, fnbhutch.bank. That's fnbhutch.bank for more information. First National Bank of Hutchinson, we're first for you.
Visit one of the First's 5 convenient locations in Hutchinson, including inside Dillon's Marketplace. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Back here at Hillier Stadium in Augusta, where Bueller leads after 1 at 21-0. Crusader football tonight brought to you in part by Jackson Meat, by Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, The Medicine Shop, by Wade Pat Insurance, and by Rod's Tire Service. We're live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, online at allensamuelshutch.com. 2nd down and 8. Here's a pitch near side at the 30. And driven out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 29. Something I'm noticing, a gain of 1 there, Chris. Loss, gain of 1. Bueller's doing a much better job of closing off the edge tonight than they did last week against El Dorado.
And a lot of that is the play so far tonight. Mason Lifford is having a whale of a night as a corner and run support tonight. He did a great job teaming up that time with
the 30. 6 on the first half clock. And here's Andrews ahead across the 30 and forward to the 32-yard line. That is going to not be nearly enough for the first down. We're going to look at a 4th down and 6 here for the Orioles. Orioles who've not punted yet tonight. I would think if you're going to punt, this would be a punting situation.
Yeah, Bueller's defense is just completely stymieing them so far. Great stop, that previous play by Coffey.
It looked like they're going to go for it, though, with a hand. No, he's going to do the quick kick. Out of the shotgun, the quarterback. Bueller will have nobody back, and this is going to take a monster El Dorado roll. Ball hit near the 30, and it rolls another 20 yards down to the 10.
Wow.
It's a great punt.
Yes, and one of the advantages of doing the rugby style kicking, they're doing out of a normal offensive set, so Bueller trying to defend in case they are going to actually go for it, electing to not have a returner back there, and with that rollout, they got great field position.
Well, Bueller was 3 for 3 scoring in the first quarter, now in the second with 11:16 to play. And their worst field position of the night, they're going to have it at their own 10-yard line.
So Bueller with 90 yards to go for pay dirt here, now actually going in. It up top, Tyler.
Oh, it's freezing.
You know, it only gets worse from here, buddy. First down and 10. On the ground, that's the fullback, Rowland, as he's ripped down across the 20. That actually mark his knee down at the 19 and a gain of 9 yards for Colin. Boy, if he started off slow trying to play catch-up here in week 5, he has found his way.
He has. He has continued to just get better week after week. He really stood out last week with just how well he blocked, and tonight he's adding the added feature of being able to carry and have good runs.
2nd down and 1. Clock will continue to run. 10:47 left in the first half. 21-0 Crusaders. Out of the eye, they go with a double tight set here. And Sam Elliott is hit in the backfield and dropped back at the 15. That was snuffed out by Eli Wilcox that time for the Orioles.
Yeah, Bueller went with a little crossback action where they faked the fullback the opposite way of where Elliott was going, and Augusta was ready for it that time. Man, we have got the El Dorado in our head tonight, Aaron.
Got the Butler kind of yips here. They mark him down at the 17. Bueller's looking at a 3rd down and 3 here. From the right hash mark of the 17, going left to right in the 2nd quarter. They fake the Sam. Brad wants to throw. Screen pass, snuffed out. Nothing there. Elliott's going to be dropped shy of the 1st down by about 2 yards. You're looking at, actually might have lost a yard back to the 16. And so looking at a 4th down.
Yeah, that really, this point in the field, you got to punt it away, but yeah, Augusta's defense kind of bristling their neck a little bit that time, getting their first force punt away for Bueller.
It looks like Jeffrey Neal will be the punter back inside his own 5. On a 4th and 4, he'll boot it away with the right leg. Bounces at the 40. It is going to roll 50, and the return man is going to get away from it. And the Crusaders will down it at the 47-yard line.
And Bradley was walking off. He was hobbling off after that last play with looked like a right or left ankle injury. So he must have tweaked it.
Carson Moeller will down it, and Augusta will get it back with 9:12 left to play in the first. A lot of big games this week. Standings, Bueller and McPherson 2-0 in ABCTL 3 play, and they will meet next Friday night. Bueller will look to snap a 4-game losing streak against those Pups.
Be nice to break that streak this year.
The O's from their own 47, 2nd quarter, down 21-0. Inside handoff at a physical run for 2 yards forward to the 49-yard line by the fullback. 6 foot 215. He is a big boy, Ryan Andrews. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 here for the Augusta Orioles.
Yeah, almost like we said, a carbon copy of Wittenberg last week. Just a big back that gets a lot of carries out of the flex.
His line has not done what Wittenberg's did last week so far. They were very impressive in that first half.
Yeah, they really did a nice job of getting off the ball. So far, Bueller's speed has been beating up on the size of Augusta.
Oh, there's a big hit at the 45. Andrews still on his feet. He rolled over a Bueller linebacker. And that was actually Eli Wilcox, number 5, who got the carry. 1st down into Bueller territory across the 40. And up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, poor Cameron Campbell came up from the safety position, trying to make the stop, and he got lit up like a Roman candle.
Correction 36, now back to Andrews on a right side carry. He's across the 35. And forward progress to the 33. Yeah, Campbell just got ran over that time by Eli Wilcox.
Well, Augusta playing with a little bit of moxie now after they got the stop on 3rd down, and now after that big pop, down to go.
That was a 15-yard run on that previous play by Wilcox. 2nd down and 6. The keeper by hand gets a good surge by that beef up front across 1st down as he gets all the way to the 27. And they are looking at a 3rd down and 1 as we'll go inside 7.5 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, Augusta finally back kind of on schedule. You love to be in 3rd and short situations as an OC.
He'll stay out of the flex and hit at the line of scrimmage. I don't know that he's going to get there. Maybe a second effort. And for Holt Williams and a Initially stopped short, Chris, but that second effort got him to the 25 and got him the first down.
Yeah, Williams kept his legs a-churning, and it paid off with Augusta getting their first down.
First and 10 at the 25. They go with a quick count. And straight ahead, Wilcox checked that hand on the keeper again. It's twice now that play has worked on this drive across the 20 to the 18 where he goes with that quick snap count.
Yeah, just the quarterback sneak with the quick snap count, kind of catching the Black Knight defense off guard a couple times.
And I feel like that's worked. Has that worked every time they ran it?
Pretty much. That's been one of their best plays of the evening.
Augusta in the Bueller red zone for the first time tonight, the right hash mark of the 18. Second down and 13. They'll go with a slot in motion. Andrews pushed backwards. Tries to get to the right side edge and maybe got a yard. We'll see where they mark him out over on the far side.
Yeah, Levi Perez initially had him, but then he was able to break out of the tackle.
Oh, those big guys are so tough to break down. They're going to mark him at the 17, so a gain of a yard. They need, I think, the 15 for a first down. This will be 3rd and 2, and definitely got to figure the O's are in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And there again in another 3rd and short.
A half straight ahead. Andrews follows his blockers and has the first down across the 15. Forward progress up to the 13-yard line. 8 plays. And they're in the Bueller red zone, 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They're going no huddle here. No huddle, trailing 21-0. Out of the flex, hand under center, fakes the handoff. Now left side run, 10-5, touchdown O's. Eli Wilcox, he was a huge part of that drive and the reason they were successful. That run he had here on the near side where he bowled over Campbell and then into the end zone, touchdown Eli Wilcox.
They ran a counter play that time as most of the action was going to the right, and they handed it off to Wilcox coming back across the grain, and he's able to waltz in for Augusta's first score of the night.
They found something with that no huddle or that quick count that time that got Bueller's defense back on its heels a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely tempo and momentum on Augusta's side right now.
And a lot of physicality.
Tyler Coles with the PAT, and Augusta is on the board. 5:37 to play here in the half. 21-7 Crusaders. Live here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Listen to Crusader football on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Dr. Ediger is very good when a problem arises. We had that happen with our daughter. He went in to do some work and then found another issue and communicated with me and gave me the option, but yet told me what he would do if it were his daughter. He gives you options that work with your family's budget.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office at 200 East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Their patients come first.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, Augusta with their first score of the night. Chris, what did you see on that drive that made it successful for them?
Well, Tyler talked about it, just physicality. I mean, Augusta just came out and ran it right into the teeth of the Bueller defense. And it gave him 6.
Tyler Coles with a booming leg. He'll kick it into the end zone from the 40. The nephew of Coach Jason Coles, our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I was going to say, Aaron, in the Armor Up segment, you didn't ask Coach Coles what he was going to do to stop his nephew.
Rush the punter. Late hit. That'd be a interesting Thanksgiving dinner
That's
conversation.
what I was about to say.
Roughing the punter. Peter's going to get it back here, 5:37. Well, what is it Coach always says?
Something bad happens, makes something good happen. So Bueller kind of got punched in the mouth that series. We'll see if the Crusader offense can punch back here and put together a nice drive.
From their own 20, up 21-7 out of the I formation on first down. Here's Elliott up the middle. And he'll pick up 3. He's not getting the gashes of yards that he was in the first quarter. Augusta's defense has adjusted here a little bit and stops him for a gain of 3.
Yeah, it would be huge for the Crusaders to put together a scoring drive here, because if Augusta can get a stop this possession, they're all of a sudden going to be maybe within cut it to a one-score game, and that would not be a good way after you started off 21-0.
They stay in the eye. Van Bruggen will line up on the right side. Single receivers either side. 5 now to play in the half. On the ground, big kick. 31 is Colin Rowland. See where they mark him down. I think actually all the way back to the 29.
Yeah, that was not a good spot. Crossing the 30. So a 3rd and short situation. Be big if Bueller can keep the chains rolling here.
31, that's where you got to trust those big guys up front. Backs in the backfield behind Neal. Elliott gets the carry. Nice cut to the 40, 45. One man to beat. 40, 40, 35, 30, and drug down inside the 30-yard line. Initially starting just right up the middle with that run. He made a nice cut to the left and all the way down inside the Augusta 30-yard line.
Well, Augusta had 6 guys on the line of scrimmage that time at the snap of the football. Nice job by Elliott seeing where the seam was at and then hitting the gas. Caden McDaniel made the touchdown-saving tackle for Augusta.
Longest run of the year for Sam the Man. He goes 43 yards from his 29 to the Augusta 28. And it'll be 1st and 10 there. 3:53 to play here in the half. Too tight set on 1st down. Inside carry to Rowland. Cross the 25 to the 23-yard line. We've bragged on Colin a lot, but you can tell Coach is getting more confident in him as he's giving him more carries.
No doubt, and that just helps out Sam Elliott so much that a defense can't just completely key on him. And the more that Colin can develop as a running threat, the better this offense is going to be.
Gain of 5 by Colin Rowland on that play. 2nd and 5 in a 21-7 game. Bueller 3 for 3 on touchdown drives in the first quarter. It's their 2nd drive of the 2nd. Here's Elliott, finds a hole. 10, 5, touchdown. Wow! Crusaders. Sam Elliott's vision. He stopped, switched directions, found the hole, and scored.
Well, when he got to about the 15-yard line, fellas, I think that's about the fastest I've seen him ever go. I had a great vantage point where he just really, when he stopped on a dime and then hit the gas, takes it to the house for 6. And great to see Sam and the Crusaders answer after Augusta's first scoring drive of the night.
When they have big plays, they get their hopes up, but then like those runs from Sam are perfect to get their hopes back down.
Brad Neal gets the hold down. The kick is up. And Weiscarver stays perfect in the PAT game. 28-7. Bueller answers right back to erase that Augusta score. 28-7, 3:09 to go in the half. Crusader football at HKFM with the Crusader Sports Network.
Do you bleed maroon and white? Do you want to help the students of BHS in their extracurricular activities? The Bueller High Booster Club helps support hundreds of students each year. To join, stop by the Bueller Closet at any home game or email BuellerBoosterClub@gmail.com.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier 2-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today. Visit hutchcc.edu/campus tour.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, we mentioned it, Christopher. So impressed with the way Sam was that time able to stop, redirect, find the opening, and get the touchdown. Now the kickoff is going to be short. Short, low line drive kick by Jeff Neal to near the 35. Augusta's going to have good field position here.
Yeah, Sam Elliott, I mean, we can't rave enough about what good of a cut that was by Sam, and he just continues to improve as a tailback. And a big thing, we were talking about it during the timeout, Aaron, this game so far, I don't want to jinx this, it's been such a clean game for Bueller. They're playing well on both sides of the football, no turnovers. Let's hope we can keep the ball rolling.
Just the one penalty tonight by Augusta, so not a lot of flags. 1st and 10 at the 36. Late pitch They try to get Wilcox to the outside. Bowls over a guy at the 50. Another big run up the far sideline. Pushes a guy still. How did he stay in bounds all the way inside the 5? That is the second time tonight that Eli Wilcox has come up with a huge run. And what I noticed there, Christopher, if I was just judging defense at 6'4", you can't
die, as we used to say, and Deontay Campbell with yet another touchdown-saving tackle. That time a couple Crusaders tried to bump him out of bounds, and Wilcox just kind of manhandled him along the sideline.
All the way down to the 25. That is a run of 39 for Eli Wilcox. 1st and 10. They go back up the middle. So Wilcox has been the spark here. Goes. Andrews back on the ground forward. Progress of 6. Here's Hand under center with a man in motion. They'll stay with Andrews. And a surge right near the stick at the 15. That should move the chains.
Yeah, out of the flex bone, they want to see that surge and the pile just kind of fall forward the right direction. And Augusta, hats off to the Orioles. You talked about it earlier, Tyler. There's been a couple chances where Augusta could have kind of mailed it in, and they've fought back after some adversity.
And like you said earlier also, like you said, you die. So like right now we're kind of having a wrestling tips and conversation right now.
It's funny how much wrestling bleeds over to football.
First. Take a seat, Mr. Andrews.
Yeah, great job by James Blick just pouring through that A-gap.
Well, Chris, especially when your running back is a state champion.
Yeah, no doubts.
Yeah, that is a gap, in fact, that A-gap. Back to the 16. 2nd down at 11, 1:51 to go in the half. Second guy through, nothing there. Bueller's black die defense back to the 20, and that time, hey, Mr. Wilcox, no big run this time. Yeah, down, and let's see, they mark him knee down at the 18.
Well, fool me once, shame on us, fool me twice, whatever that saying is. Sorry,
I think
I
it's
lost
the
my
other
mind.
way around.
Well, whatever.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yes. Well,
twice, it's me.
Well, I wanted to be witty that time. The big thing I wanted to say is that's the exact same play. Job is staying at home and setting the edge and just dropping Wilcox for that loss. And now Augusta with a tough 3rd down situation. They're obviously in 4-down territory, but they're taking their time.
Well, what does Philback have in his bag of tricks here on a 3rd and 13 at the 18? And they are going to have to take a timeout.
All right, how much, if we had prop bets here, guys, there's going to be some trickeration here. A tailback pass, perhaps.
Well, there's been a couple of times tonight when yeah, but it would not some kind of reverse or would not surprise me in the least.
Well, if you are a Bueller member of the a secondary member of the secondary, you want to be staying at home. Do not bite on the read keys as far as it being a run play. Stay back and stay in coverage because, yeah, I will bet there's some bag of tricks coming right here.
And even though it's 3rd and long, they've been having a lot of success with Wilcox, so I believe that he's going to be involved in some sort of way.
Well, we thought that they would pass more than tonight, and he's 0 for 2. He'll break out of the huddle here, go to the line of scrimmage, 1:01 on the clock. Bueller leading 28-7 here. 4 touchdowns by Sam Elliott in the first half. Brilliant catch in the end zone. Eli Wilcox. And it's 6'4", Christopher. And that fade pass, he just went up and got it.
Yeah, Levi Perez was right there step for step. I think Levi maybe even had it momentarily, but Wilcox was able to just use that size and rip it away and score his 2nd touchdown of the evening. First time on the ground, this time on the reception.
And like I said, Wilcox was involved with that play.
So Tyler Cole's on for the kick from the 10. It'll be up and good. How important now was that last score by the Crusaders as they give up 2 in the second. Sam Elliott's big run.
Was going into the locker room, potentially just down a score. Yeah, they'd be getting both barrels from him here in the second half.
We talk about that this Augusta team is better than 1-3. I think so. Crusader football tonight here on HKFM, brought to you in part by Midwest Iron and Metal, by Edgar Family Dental, Hutch Rec, also by Sunflower Electric, and by Ray and Sons Roofing. Our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard coming up at halftime tonight. From regular teeth cleanings to advanced periodontal work, your hometown dentist is Bueller Dental Care, online at BuellerDentalCare.com. Providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. We'll also sit down with head band director Eric Stanbaugh and talk about this year's show for our band kids. Kick from the 40. We'll hear from Lauren Speck, who won her second consecutive. The 1. McCurdy with a return. 20, 25, 30, 35. He's got space at the 40, 45-yard line, and a great return by Brock Neal, and that gives Bueller a chance to do something with 46 seconds on the clock at the 46-yard line.
You hit the nail on the head. This opens up and changes the trajectory of what Bueller's probably going to do here. If it was a pretty mediocre return, Bueller probably would have just elected to keep it on the ground and run it out and go to the second half. Now Bueller with a short field got a chance after the 2-minute drill here.
Yeah, nice return there by the junior receiver.
Each team Augusta has had about 2, and now for the second return chance for Bueller, they had a bigger run themselves.
First and 10 at the 46. See what Coach Warner wants to dial up in the offense. They go with 4 receivers. Trips right here on first down. 45 seconds on the clock. Bradley out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Sam Elliott. 50, 45, stumbling to the 40. He's got a first down. Well, when you expect him to run or throw, why not run? And a big first down carry to the 40 by Sam Elliott. And that'll move the sticks.
I love the play call. They call it the spread for a reason. Get that defense spread out wide and give Sam some nice running lanes.
Now a timeout of the field, 14 yards. Sam Elliott. So a lot to talk about coming up at halftime tonight. Our Bueller golf team to start the year had won or had finished second in 6 consecutive tournaments. And you say they broke the streak, but in a good way this week. They won the Hutch Invite yesterday. Lauren Speck, who's headed to Dodge City, won her second straight tournament this week. Right, well, any sport, really. He's about peaking at the right time.
Yeah, no, it's good to see the Crusaders having the success they are, and it's been fun to kind of follow their success just through social media, and Coach is doing a great job out there on the links.
Good for Lauren because she was struggling the first half of the season. To see her, nice for her to see.
Talk cross country. They've got a big meet coming up at Newton. They're going to host regionals later this month on the 24th. Volleyball, they got a tough assignment, a tough draw in their sub-state. They have played Andale 3 times this year. Andale ranked number 1 in 4A, and Andale's beat them 3 different times. They'll play them 1. Volleyball coming up at halftime as well. First and 10 out of the timeout from the 40. 34 seconds left here before halftime. Bueller up 28-14. They'll stay with a 4-receiver formation. Trips right here on first down. Bradley out of the gun. Pressure off the edges. Steps up in the pocket. Steps, throws, hits Van Bruggen. His tight end caught at the 30, 25, and hopefully got out of bounds near the 20. Smart move by Bo to get what he bounds up inside the 25. They'll mark him out at the 21.
The pocket was collapsing completely around Bradley that time. Van Bruggen with a little drag route underneath, caught it and made some hay after the catch. Great pitch and catch that time from Neal to Van Bruggen.
I love that he is 4 of 6 in the passing game here in the first half.
And he's mixing it up with lots of different receivers involved.
And that was great composure by Neal also when the pocket was collapsing.
First and 10 at the 21. They stay with a 4-receiver spread. High snap. They'll hand it off to Elliott, and nothing there. Augusta's going to drive him back. And
Bueller will use a timeout. But, yeah, I tell you what, Sam Elliott has such respect of the Augusta defense that they are going pretty much single coverage across the board for all of our receivers, just with one high safety over the top and keeping everybody else in the box to try to stop Sam.
Loss of a yard there, back to the 22 for Sam Elliott, his first negative play of the night. Second down and 11 now, the 22 with the timeout. The clock stopped with 19 seconds to go. Bueller went 3 of 3 on scoring drives in the first quarter, led 21-0. They had drives of 46, 48, and 76 yards. In the second quarter, Bueller punting on its first possession, and Augusta gets on the board on a 13-yard touchdown run by Eli Wilcox. That came with 5:37 to go in the second, 21-7. Bueller answers right back, a 5-play, 80-yard drive, and a Sam Elliott touchdown for 23 yards made it 28-7. And then a second touchdown of the second quarter tonight by Augusta is Wilcox again, this time on a pass from Jet Hand for 18 yards with 55 ticks left. Makes it 28-14. The big return by Brock McCurdy. Bueller's got it second and 11 at the Augusta 22 with 19 seconds left. Brad's going to be out of the gun. 2 receivers right, 1, make it 2 left. On the second down, and Van Bruggen's going to go in motion. So now trips right. Brad looking left, wants to throw left. Oh, wide open. Did he catch it inbounds? Brock McCurdy catches it inside the 10 at the 8. Not a great thrown ball by Brad, but Brock reached out, grabbed it, hauled it in, out of bounds at the 8. It's first and goal.
And that was a great job by Brock McCurdy to not only have the wherewithal to stay in bounds, but to catch it, keep possession, and then get out of bounds quickly.
That's what we practice as kids all the time, just sideline catches.
So it'll be first and goal at the 8 with 15 seconds left, and I think Augusta now wants a timeout.
Timeout, Augusta.
Well, this last minute of the second quarter is taking longer to play than the rest of the first half.
Oh, this game before this drive and the previous drive for Augusta was just absolutely smoking through. But, yeah, this would be big for Bueller to get not only just a field goal try here, but to try to get another touchdown to get back to that 3-score lead.
13 yards on that pass play from Brad Neal. And again, Brad now 5 of 7 tonight, and that is so encouraging for the young quarterback, as we mentioned, to have some success here in this Augusta game. And Coach really feels like they're going to need that passing game as they get later into the year.
Oh, you have to have a diversified offense to deal with a team like McPherson and make them defend the full field.
Our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard, second quarter scores: Dodge City leading Great Bend at 21-7, Andale 32, Heston 7. Canton Galva leading Little River in 8-man action 24-12. Mays 42, Salina South 13. Some other scores: Holton leading Royal Valley tonight 44-0. That's a second quarter goodness. Mulvane 18, Field Kinley 7. Hutch leads Andover 7-0. More coming up at halftime. First and goal here at the 8. Got a couple, maybe 3 tries if you're passing here at the end zone with 15 ticks left.
Yeah, with 2 touchdowns, 2 plays, maybe 3.
They go with 2 tights and 2 wingbacks. Single setback Elliott and Neal out of the gun here on first and goal. Sam to his right. Brad wants to throw. Pump fakes. Now scrambling left. Throws back across his body. High in the end zone. Intended for Van Bruggen, and that'll be incomplete. Second down.
Took 6 ticks off the clock, so Bueller now with 1 or 2 timeouts remaining. They don't have to burn one there on the stop clock on the incompletion. So Bueller probably looking at 2 more cracks at the end zone.
They're going to take 2 cracks, or would they try a
let Weiscarver try one. The wind has died down, it looks like.
Second and goal at the 8. They'll go spread again. 4 wide receivers. Neal works out of the shotgun, and a flag comes out, I believe, a delay of game. That'll be the first penalty of the night on Bueller. Bueller came in, averaging 3 penalties, 30 yards a game, and that one for 5 is their first of the night. Pushes the ball back across the 12 to the 13-yard line. Still second and goal with 9 ticks on the clock. They stay in the spread. 2 receivers right and 2 left. Here's Brad to throw. Good production. Now flushes out of the pocket to his left. Throws in the corner of the end zone. It is contested for and incomplete.
They're maybe going to say an intercept. It is going to be an interception in the end zone.
Picked off in the end zone. It is picked off in the end zone. 2 seconds left. Brad Neal throws his 3rd pick of the year.
First turnover of the night for the Crusaders, and kind of the first blemish we've had on what has been otherwise a pretty almost perfect game for the Crusaders.
And now Augusta will have it at their own 20 with 2 seconds left. And don't expect anything, although you never know. I think
it's not done until the whistle blows.
Yeah, they're going to take the knee. I thought maybe, you know, if they had it closer to midfield, maybe you try something, but a turnover there could lead to a defensive score, so you got to be careful. That'll get us to halftime. 28-14. Well, Bueller had the dominant first quarter with the 3 scores. Each team with 2 scores in the second quarter. Bueller's offense, Christopher, continues to play game for Augusta, and really he's the difference in Augusta being able to score twice in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's been the spark for Augusta offensively, and yeah, for tonight it's one of those halves that if you're the Crusaders offensively, you got to feel pretty good about how things have gone. Bradley's done such a great job of spreading the ball around. That's something I've really been impressed with too, as so many different players have caught the ball tonight, and that's just going to make this offense more difficult to defend.
All right, we are at halftime. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report coming up. Your score is Bueller 28 and Augusta 14. Coming up next, we'll talk with Bueller High School Band Director Eric Stanbaugh in tonight's halftime conversation. That's next here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
For tonight's Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Prairie Bank of Kansas, serving Central Kansas since 1886. Coming up, we'll bring you stats and analysis from tonight's first half. Your home for Crusader football is Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Prairie Bank of Kansas is a local bank with local concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote activities like sports and extracurricular learning. We hope you support these valuable activities too. We'll be right here with you. Visit one of our locations in Stafford, Bueller, Inman, or Hutchinson, or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas, how banking should be.
Neufeld's Flooring, your experts in design and installation of carpet, tile, wood, and vinyl floor covering. Proudly sponsoring Bueller High School activities, Neufeld's Flooring in downtown Bueller.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dal Hunt with Bueller Dental Care. At Bueller Dental Care, we have great registered hygienists to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build a positive relationship with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We like to have some fun with you and get to know you while you spend time with us. So be sure to give us a call at 620-543-2768 or email us at Dr. Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Hello, Bruce Isaacson here with the Isaacson Insurance Agency. Effective September 1st of this year, I have moved my office to 1700 East 30th, Suite D, just east of the intersection of 30th and Waldron. Stop in for your free insurance review on your auto and home, or simply call 727-0653. You'll be glad you did.
And back here at halftime on the road in Augusta tonight, week 5 of the high school football season. And we take a moment to focus on what our marching band is doing. Band director Eric Stanbaugh joins us. Eric, thank you so much for your time, buddy.
Thanks, Aaron, for having me. I always appreciate what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to take some time. I know that because of COVID, the kids haven't been able to do some of their normal competitions that they would do, and it's kind of limited their exposure to the public a little bit. Talk about some of the things you're doing. I know we're looking at maybe a virtual online video that'll be able to be viewed, some things that you're doing to still allow people to see what the kids are putting together?
Sure, absolutely. In early September, we were getting word from all three of our competitions that they weren't going to happen. Luckily, University of Central Missouri was going to do a viral competition, which I was excited about because we can submit a video and compete against over 50 other bands in the 6-state area. So we still have something to strive for. And in fact, that's what we're kind of doing on Thursday and Friday of this week, or this past week, is to video us and then invite our parents to see the our last movement that we've added in our complete show. So we still got things to work for, and we're just playing it week by week, day by day.
Yeah, certainly, depending on what happens with the gating situation, be able to perform at the upcoming home games or not, that'll be to be decided. So, as you said, just taking it day by day, week by week kind of situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I've really noticed in us going through this process of band and marching band and being relevant was that my kids have been resilient. They've been awesome, always been very positive. My senior class has led the way they could have easily hung it up, but they decided that, it's not necessarily about our competitions, to be honest with you. It's about being around each other. It's about the performance, and it's about getting the musical opportunity that we love so very much, and that's to play in the band as well as the marching band and just be around each other.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the show that you guys have put together for this year.
Yeah, so this year's show was Me, Myself, and Hyde, basically telling the story of Dr. Jekyll and his demons of trying to get to the idea of the good side or the bad side, so to speak, and the trials and tribulations that it takes to, and kind of like exactly what we're going through is, are we going to be Debbie Downer, or are we going to be on the positive side of things? And so it's the interaction for all four movements. And of course, the last movement kind of leaves the spectator to scratch their head, because in the end, we really don't know what was chosen. Was it going to be Dr. Jekyll, or was it going to be Mr. Hyde? So that's what we're really excited about showing on our fourth movement, and hopefully on October 9th, if we do get that home game, to come and perform.
Yeah, and I know typically, right, you guys have laid out different home games where different movements of the show, by the end of the year, you'll have them all put together.
Yeah, we try to tease the audience. We give them a little bit every home game, and it also allows us to perfect our product. And if we threw everything out at once, then it wouldn't be fun for us, as well as we're not ready yet. So
Sure.
We feel very comfortable that we could perform tomorrow and go to contest tomorrow. So I'm proud of my kids for that.
All right, and so once that virtual video, that'll be available at some point out on the web for people to view if they want to?
Yeah, so what I'll do is, the first things first is I'll take care of my parents. So I'm going to send that video once we get it put together, and then I will make it viral on our Bueller Band Facebook page, so anybody can go on there and check it out. I'll try to leave that posted without any other posts, so you can go right to it the first time when you go on there. So it will be great, because we're going to be in full uniform. Everything will be put together like we would do on a normal competition.
Very good, Eric. Well, we appreciate your time and what you do for the kids, and just navigating one day at a time, and hopefully we'll get to see you at a couple of home games if everything goes well here coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that.
That is our band director, Eric Stanbaugh. We appreciate his time, and watch for that video, and we'll share a link once that's up there, and we love watching the kids perform on Friday nights. So more of our halftime coming up right after this.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hi, this is Bueller head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Bueller Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter emailed weekly to Bueller High School football supporters. To sign up for the Football Weekly Roundtable, just send an email to crusadersrt@gmail.com. That's crusadersrt@gmail.com.
Hello fans, Monty Cross with HCU Investment Insurance Services, and as an alumni of Bueller, I am proud to sponsor Crusader Sports. HCU Investment and Insurance Services is located inside Heartland Credit Union at 23rd and Severance in Hutchinson. Call me today at 620-669-0177 or 800-428-8472. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance products offered through LPL Financial or its licensed affiliates.
Mann, Wyatt & Rice Personal Injury Law Firm is celebrating 20 years of helping victims recover their health and lives after a serious accident. Serving Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado, our success stems from valuing people over profits. We look forward to another 20 years of fighting for victims' rights. Mann, Wyatt & Rice attorneys and staff wish Bueller athletes the best of luck this season. Mann, Wyatt & Rice, trusted, experienced, compassionate.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And welcome back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report on 95.9 HKFM as we recap our first half. Inside the Numbers brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and the CPAs, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years, serving their clients with trusted legal advice. And Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, and I am stumbling all over myself, Christopher.
Well, that's all right. You talked about the El Dorado Yips. I know it was in my head a couple times, even though we both know we're in Augusta. We promise, folks.
Well, a great stop to the first half here at Hillier Stadium tonight. Bueller went 3 of 3 in that opening quarter. Started off with a 7-play, 46-yard drive. Sam Elliott with a 1-yard touchdown run. 7-0 with 7:44 to play. Bueller comes right back after an Augusta fumble recovered by Matthew Eddy. And from the Augusta 48, they go 3 plays, 48 yards, and a 37-yard touchdown run by Sam Elliott. 14-0, 5:39 to go in the first. Final touchdown of the first quarter. Bueller on a 7-play, 76-yard drive, started from their own 24. And Sam Elliott caps it off with a 7-yard touchdown run. 43 seconds left, and it is 21-0. Second quarter, Bueller would punt on their opening series of the quarter. Then Augusta got their offense going. Eli Wilcox really sparked things. Had a couple of big plays in that drive from Augusta's own 47. He caps it off with a 13-yard touchdown run. 9 plays and 53 yards for the Orioles. 5:37 to go in the second. It's 21-7. Bueller from their own 20 answered right back on a 5-play, 80-yard drive. Sam Elliott headed the end zone on a 23-yard run. His 4th of the night. 3:09 to play in the half. The extra point, it's 28-7. And then the Orioles again from their own 36. They go 6 plays, 64 yards. And Jen Hand throws an 18-yard touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. It was a great catch by Eli Wilcox. 55 ticks left, and the score is 28-14. Bueller, 55 seconds. Actually, they get the ball back with 45 seconds left in that second quarter from their own 46. Christopher, they came close, got it all the way down to the 8, and then Brad Deal, who otherwise had a great first half, I thought, threw that pick in the end zone and the ball that was contested. But you take that away, I thought he had a pretty good first half.
No, he had a great first half. I mean, nobody's perfect, and no, the thing that he really did a nice job, I mean, he threw different types of throws, and he mixed it up with just hitting lots of different receivers. And if you just have one receiver that's your go-to guy, you know, defenses can really start, you know, trying to put their best secondary member on that guy or forcing that guy into double coverage. But, you know, Bueller doing a great job, and Bradley really spreading the wealth around. And that last pick, you know, he was just trying to make something happen there at the end of the half, so can't hardly blame the kid for trying to make a play with all the defenders in his face.
Each team with a turnover, and you take away that, Brad was 5 of 7, 5 of 8 overall. He had mixed it up. Van Bruggen caught a pass. Brock McCurdy had a nice catch that he hauled in on the sideline, and then Rhino had a nice over-the-shoulder catch down here on this north side of the field early in the first half too. So mixing it up.
And the nice thing too with our receivers, Aaron, across the board they've done a nice job of doing something with it after the catch. There's been some nice yards after catch pretty much in every single reception tonight except for one.
Well, one thing we did so well last week at El Dorado's came out and won the second half 3 for 3 on scoring drives and shut out El Dorado in that third quarter. Bueller's going to get the ball to start the third here. So, hey, let's punch him in the mouth and come right back at him in this third quarter.
You hit the nail on the head. The most important thing, like you said, Bueller getting the ball to start the third quarter. If you can come out, get that separation, and you've been following Coach Warner long enough to know he talks extensively about that 3-score lead. If the Crusaders can get that 3-score lead and keep it and build on it, then it'll be a good second half for the Crusaders.
Live streaming of tonight's game on your phone with the Ad Astra Radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless. Your mobile and need to stay connected online at nextechwireless.com. And we want to again remind you that you can get live video streaming of tonight's game via the Crusader Sports Network, our video partners here in the 2020 football season. Simply go to their Crusader Sports Network Facebook page for a link, or search for Crusader Sports Network on YouTube and catch live video. That is going to be huge. As we understand it, Bueller will be moving to a hybrid learning situation at the high school and the middle school next week. And if I understand it right, there will be no fans allowed at next Friday's home game against McPherson. It's going to be a first for us, broadcasting with nobody in the stands, but obviously important to have that video piece there. We certainly want to put our best foot forward next Friday night. So
there's no doubt about it. And the thing, we're going to get our little taste, Aaron, of what they've been going through in Major League Baseball and some of these pro games and even some of the college games where you're doing a game with no crowd. It's going to be a very unique
Should we pump in the fake crowd noise?
That would be interesting. They ought to try to.
I will say this. I am appreciative of the fact that a lot of those guys have been doing it not at the stadium where the game is actually going on. They've been back in a studio or somewhere else. I will appreciate the fact that we'll actually be at the place where the game is happening.
Oh, you aren't a kid. I mean, earlier this summer, did you watch any of the Korean baseball, Aaron?
I did not.
Those were guys here in America doing those games clear across the ocean.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to get the feel for a game that far away.
All right, more halftime coming up, some other scores, and we'll let you know what else is happening in Crusader sports this week. That's next as our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report continues here on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Find Prairie Bank of Kansas online at prairiebankks.com. Following tonight's game, get scores and highlights on the Central Kansas scoreboard. Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is Brett Henry, and for the past 75 years at Adams Brown Barron & Ball, we've served Kansas and America. To celebrate our 75th anniversary, we have rebranded to Adams Brown, Strategic Allies, and CPAs. For more information on our exciting changes, check out and see why we are above and beyond.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Bueller, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Stock number T41550 down. Outstanding 720 FICO, 84 months unapproved. I saw your ad last week on the $299 dot. Slow pays or late pays get approved.
Even with no credit or bad credit, we know sometimes bad things happen to good people. At Allen Samuels, our credit rebuilding program means that you can drive a brand new vehicle at a payment you can. Let us help.
Online 24 hours a day at allensamuelshutch.com.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And welcome back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. We'll get to some scores in just a moment. Right now I want to briefly talk about some other things that are happening in Crusader athletics here this week. And we'll start with our Bueller golf team, which had a fantastic week. They finished second Monday at the Handale Invite, their sixth consecutive second-place finish. Lauren Specht was first at that invite on Monday. She followed that up, her career best score of 80. She tied that on Thursday as the Lady Crusaders went to the Hutch High Invite and won that tournament. And Lauren Specht finishing first again. Great job by Lauren. Lauren talked about her play this week, in particular had Andale, and how she's really not focused on winning, but just out there being a great teammate and enjoying the experience.
Before last year and this year, and I did a lot of practicing there before the tournament. So it was a fun tournament to play in. I had a good time with the girls that I played with, and I wasn't trying to win the tournament. We were just trying to have a good time, and I ended up shooting one of my best scores.
And the Lady Crusaders believe they have a chance in the postseason, peaking at the right time. Lauren Specht said, hey, a lot of it with golf is mental and having that right focus going into the postseason.
It's a lot of mental game stuff for us this season, keeping positive attitudes, not overthinking on the course, and just having a lot of confidence in every shot that we have.
Cross-country course went to Winfield to finish third, both boys and girls, yesterday. They're in play again tomorrow at Newton, and then, of course, hosting regionals in Bueller on the 24th. Soccer fell to Rose Hill last night 3-0. They're home Tuesday against Mulvane, and our volleyball team, which split with McPherson and Circle Tuesday night, big comeback against second-ranked Circle. They were down 11-16 in the third set and won 25-22, 10-25, 25-22. They'll be home Tuesday against Andale and Wellington at Jim Baker Fieldhouse.
Well, you mentioned cross-country. I've got a good Tanner Lindahl story here involving Hillier Stadium. The very first time in junior high track that he ran the 2-mile, Aaron, it was the very first meet of the season, and it was a very, very cold night. Colder than tonight, Tyler, if you were here. But it's frigidly cold, and the kid set the school record in the 2-mile, very first time running it.
All right, well, kickoff set to start the second half, and we'll get you some scores coming up in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard as Tyler Coles kicks it off. Back to the 5. It's going to be a returnable for the Crusaders. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Brock McCurdy, 45, near the 50. That is 2, Christopher. 2 huge Brock McCurdy kickoff returns in this game.
Yeah, he's brought it out in front of the 40 both times, and starting the offense with a shortened field is such a good shot in the arm for the O-line and everybody else.
Tyler Coles with a big kick, but a nice return by Brock McCurdy. TA, it's not cold upstairs, is it?
No, not at all. We're feeling great.
All right, set to go with the second half. Bueller from their own 48 left to right here in this third. Go with the wing back in motion. That'll be Coffey out there, out of the eye. And the pitch left to Elliott at the 50, following his blockers. 45, Augusta territory. A little more like the mojo we saw in the first quarter from Sam, all the way down to the 40-yard line. And move the sticks on a first down carry for Sam Elliott.
Yeah, just another first down, 10-plus yard carry for Sam Elliott. That's the way he started off this game. Let's see if he can keep it rolling here in the second half.
That wind almost whipping sideways now, coming into the press box. Blowing south, blowing northwest, is it not? Just
yeah,
right
coming out of
us.
the southeast, yes.
Yeah. First down and 10 at the Augusta left hash mark. They go with a double tight set here. And inside carry across the 40, down to the 35. 9 yards of carry last Friday by Sam, and he's picked up right where he left off, just doing a fantastic job.
Gusto, and yeah, the lead block so far looking good for Bueller out there as well.
In the third, the wind has picked up here at Hillier Stadium as we've got later into the game. 2 receivers right out of the eye here on second down inside carry the fullback, and that goes nowhere as, wow, Colin Rowland stood up at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, Jacob Money came off the edge unblocked. 2-yard loss, so now some third in trouble for Bueller here.
Loss of 2 back to the 37. Crusaders in Oriole territory at the 37. Third down, clock running, 10:19 to play in the third. Bueller leading 28-14. They'll stay out of the I formation. Single receivers either side. McCurdy to the near side. Brad under center. Wants to throw, looking left, and looking at that out route to Coffey. Coffey was supposed to turn around and come back to the ball, but Brad had to get rid of it so early, just no way to complete that.
Yeah, Coffey didn't get it. Big hit that time by Zach Timberlake and didn't come back to help out Bradley in the least bit.
So Coach Warner will bring the to punt into the wind near the Augusta 45. See if they kick it away from the return man. Boy, Jeff did just get that away. It's going to roll at the 20 and be down right there near the 20-yard line.
Great job by Ostrom tracking that down as the ball started kind of spiraling backwards. So Augusta will have 80 yards to go for pay dirt here, and see if the Crusader defense can come out swinging on their first series.
You try and say spiraling 3 times really quickly. Oh. Crusader football tonight brought to you in part by Wifco Steel Products. Our Wifco Steel Man of Steel coming up after the game. Apple Lane Animal Hospital by First National Bank, Apex Shears. And a flag comes out at the snap. That typically means that somebody along the front moved.
Yes.
1 penalty each in the first half.
Yeah, the false start on Augusta.
Bueller had that 1 penalty, a delay of game for 5 yards in the second quarter. That'll move the ball back to the 14th, so a 5-yard penalty on the Orioles. Left hash mark, the O's going right to left. Augusta home against McPherson. Inside carry, big hole for Andrews across the 20, and finally brought down at the 25. It's one of the best jobs his offensive line has done for him tonight, getting him that gap up the middle, and Andrews drags a couple of tacklers all the way up to the 26.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, he drug a couple tacklers, just a hard physical run that time by Ryan Andrews.
End of 12, second down and 3 here for the O's. Clock running, 9:31 to go in the yardage still. Let's see where they stop forward progress back at the 14-yard line. I'm sorry, back at the 26.
Yeah, Blick and Van Bruggen in on the stop that time, really kind of matching physicality that time.
Really kind of thought that was generous, just calling a no gain. I thought maybe he lost a couple of yards. And so it should be 3rd down now, should it not?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
3rd and 4. Boy, almost a false start again. Up at the line of scrimmage, what a play back at the 25. He had green grass in front of him, but from behind, that was Sam Elliott who made the ankle tackle to bring Wilcox to the turf back at the 27.
Sam Elliott stuffed it, so
instead of Arnold.
Quick kick here. No hand one. No, he just gets it away. And a short kick into Bueller territory. Hits at the 48. You know, it's interesting there. Hand took a look to see if there was a receiver open for a moment. Did get it away.
Yeah, Van Bruggen was bearing down on him. And, man, yeah, that's a dangerous play, too, when your quarterback is your punter, because a punting. One of these times, if he takes that much time, he might get lit up.
Yeah, if he's live to pass the ball, he's fair game to hit in that situation. Yep. 8:13 to play here in the. From the Augusta 46. Great field position. Sam running right side. And a good first down run for Sam Elliott to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Bueller went with a bunch right formation to the wide side of the field, and they were able to get Sam to the edge. Nice physical run as he eventually was brought down by
28-14, Crusaders 3. Down, Sam trying to follow his blockers on the right side, surging forward to the 35-yard line. Good old smash mouth football will get the first down.
Nice block that time by Jackson Childs. The quick tackle as Sam follows him, and then for the first down.
Football at the right hash mark of the 35. 1st and 10. Driving against that wind left to right in the 3rd. South end zone here in Augusta. 7:09 to go in this 3rd quarter. They'll stay with it. Bunch formation right side. Brad will stay under center. Elliott the lone back behind him. They give it to, no, Brad keeps it up the middle. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. And brought down at the 5-yard line. Everybody on the field thought that Sam Elliott second to keep it, and gets down inside the 10 to the 7, 1st and goal.
What a gutsy run that time by Bradley Neal as he just goes into the teeth of the Augusta defense. And that's the great thing about Roland and Elliott having a big night. It opens things up for the quarterback run game.
A 28-yard run by Brad Neal. Everybody thought that touchdown Crusaders.
Yeah, on for dear life, and Sam Elliott strong enough, he just ran right through the arm tackle.
And that's number 4.
The best play of the game, of the season for Brad Neal. Everybody, all other 21 players on the field thought that Sam Elliott had the football. But Brad tucked it in and ran. That puts Bueller up 34-14 with the extra point. Wide left. No. You can always tell by the look on Christopher.
Having to actually keep the running.
Over, I said 6:31 on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
This has been the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report.
Let me see what it says.
Synonymous with salt, dating back to its synonymous with salt. Cargill Salt of Hutch, proud to support the schools of Reno County. Collaborate, create, succeed. Cargill Salt of Hutchinson.
Come visit us at Bueller Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have some fun and get to know you while you spend time with us. From regular fill implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment, or email online at Dr. Dal.
Night. 13 on the season, 6:31 to play in the 3rd, and it is 34-14. They may have a little trouble keeping the ball on the tee here. Yep. Sam with runs of 1, 30, 23, and 7.
Yeah, that wind continues to pick up, and the good news for Bueller, we'll have the wind in the 4th.
And Jeffrey's going to squib it, and it doesn't go far. It came funny off his foot. It might have been falling off the tee as he kicked it. And it is going to be down at the 49. So Augusta is going to have fantastic field position here. 6:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they're at their own
position. They have wind at their back. And we big if the Crusader defense can hold.
The 49 going right to left here. It's Jet Hand, the senior, 6'1", 160 under center. Will snap it from Caleb Husselman. They pitch it to Andrews Bob. To get up back at Augusta's 44 is on that pitch that time. He kind of had to stop, gather his hands, make
corner spot to just seal the edge and make the big stop. Great job. You could hear the Bueller coaches celebrating in the box at the south end of the press box with that big stop.
So back to the 46-yard line. And a loss of 3 on first down. It'll be second down here.
In a box here to begin this drive.
And again, Orioles in that flex run game going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage, this time trying to run to the right side and driven back another yard to the 45. A loss of 1 again by Ryan Andrews.
Van Bruggen with the big stop that time, and I think Coach Coles or somebody had something to say to these boys. They are playing with some gusto this series.
And now Augusta facing a third down and long situation. Their quarterback, Jed Hand, just 1 of 3 in the passing game tonight. 3rd and 14 at the 45. Hand will be under center. Single receiver right. They've got 3 receivers to the left. Bunch for is going to take off and be tackled at the 49-yard line. Van Bruggen was a step away from sacking Jed Hand for a big loss. Able to scramble forward to the 49. It'll be 4th down and 10.
And Tushin came up with the football. They're not going to say he got a great job, Van Bruggen flushing him, and then Elliott and Tushin just collapsing around him. And so a 4th and long, and they'll go traditional punt for
short. And Ryan Andrews will punt from the 40. Big kick into that wind. Brock goes back and fumbles it. He'll fall on it. Back at the 8-yard line. It's one of those situations where as a punter, do you catch it? Do you just get away from it? It can be a dicey play. Tough for a punter.
It is a high pressure position, and it was a good job by Brock just getting back on the football, because you know, when you got a defender right in your face, Jet Hand was all over him. He had to kind of back. But at least we have possession.
This drive at their own 9. 1st and 10, 4:16 to go in the 3rd, leading 34-14. And Brad from under center. He'll give it to Elliott. Big squirt up the middle at the 20, 25, now the 30, 35, and caught from behind as he rolls across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Aaron, I absolutely love watching safeties make tackles. Great job just hitting the hole hard and giving the Crusaders some nice breathing room. It's a lot different operating.
20-plus yard runs tonight. First and 10. 2 receivers right. They'll keep it on the ground. Big hole, Elliott, 45, 50. Low territory, 40. Across the 25-yard line and down to the 23.
And yet another secondary tackle made that time. This time, Pfeiffer on the stop, but great job by Elliott, just back-to-back big runs, and now Bueller knocking on the door of the red zone themselves.
That is 41. Sam has a 43-yarder tonight. That one for 41. I'm running out of adjectives to describe Sam Elliott's running tonight. 1st and 10 at the 23 in O territory. This drive that started at their own 9. Neal under center. They work the eye. Elliott slips out of a tackle. Now he's caught from behind. Still bring him down. Boy, look at the size that Sam gives up there at 5'7" to the 6'4" Wilcox, and he's still able to drag him for yardage to the 22.
Yeah, and giving up weight too, as there's a 50-pound plus differential between those two, and Elliott really showing his strength as Wilcox had to get help to get him down.
Still able to drag him for a yard to the 22 in a 2nd and 9. Those wrestlers are tough to bring down.
Yeah, something tells me Wilcox is probably not a wrestler, as he's one of the tallest players for Augusta.
2nd and 9 at the 22. They'll put 2 wingbacks in, right and left, double tight set. Neal out of the gun. And offset carry by Sam, who's tripped up at the 20. They'll mark him down right at the 20-yard line after a gain of 2. Sam has great hair, by the way, too. Have you seen the curly mop of Sam Elliott?
I've not seen it lately.
Oh, it's a great flow.
See him at church every now and then, and so yeah, I've not seen the mop top lately.
When we were kids, guys used to get perms to make that happen on purpose.
That's becoming more and more of a thing again, Aaron.
And Sam's got it naturally. It looks, it's good wrestling hair. 2nd down and 6. Brad out of the gun. Too tight set again. Inside carry. Elliott 10, 5. Put another one on the board. Number 6 tonight for Sam, the man. Crusaders.
And who better to score it than Sam Elliott as he continues to have a big night for Bueller, just running right in between the tackles into the teeth of that Augusta Oriole defense. As the Crusaders really have blown this thing open now, leading 40-14.
My goodness. From their own 9, and they punch it in. Nothing like a
great drive into the teeth of the wind.
Weiscarver on for the PAT, and he will punch this one through. 93 seconds left in the 3rd. Bueller running away from Augusta here at Hillier Stadium, 41-14 on HKFM.
Crusader football coverage on the sports page at
This is Rod. Our entire off service. We can pick your vehicle up for new tires or service and return it to your house or business. Our farm service trucks are ready as always. We all need to do our part to keep ourselves and those around us healthy. And business, your one-stop complete source for Firestone tires is Rod's Tire.
Ball is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And again, we remind you that we are live tonight from the Alan Samuels broadcast booth. Alan Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hutch. Online at alansamuelshutch.com. Come by. Let's be friends. They had a great turnout at their Back the Blue event last Saturday. Thanks to John and Dina for putting that on. They're at Alan Samuels and hosting our local law enforcement. That wind is blowing right into the press box.
Yes,
and it's a little nippy.
It is. What are the conditions up top, gentlemen?
Well, the wind keeps picking up.
They've got
We're just jamming to the music that they're playing in the PA.
They've got the little tiki drinks up there and sunscreen on, having a good time.
I'm just thankful we don't have any rain tonight.
Jeff Neal, short kick to the 25. Wilcox on the return. Love the way he runs. And for a tall Wilcox, similar build though for Sebastian Flower.
Yeah, Sebastian Flower looks. They've got him listed as 6'1", 140. I was going to say he is a very slender young man, and got to give compliment to Marcus Voss. One of these times he's going to light somebody up on these kickoffs. As he comes flying in, he's usually kind of the leading edge. Just has missed so far on the tackles, but when he does connect, it's going to be a big one.
And speaking of big players for the Orioles, I was talking to Coach Warner this weekend in the physical fitness, and he said that they have the biggest O-line that he knows of right now because they have an average O-line weight of 280 pounds.
Augusta's going to start this from their own 32, 1st and 10. Andrews on the inside carry. Actually, that's Wilcox.
Number 5, Eli Wilcox on the carry.
We'll get forward progress up to the 38, so he's going to pick up 6 here on 1st down. Well,
6 yards.
Big one next week, fellas. Who doesn't want to beat the MAC Bullpups?
Yes, we got to take a look at that Bueller Dental Care scoreboard update.
Oh, big hole. And to beat Elliott, chasing him 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Ryan Andrews at Augusta. Their 3rd score of the night.
Yeah, Ryan Andrews showing why he's the captain that time as he continued to battle through and showed some top-end speed as he got past the Bueller secondary members, and Augusta trying to make it interesting. They heard you talking about McPherson, Aaron, early.
A 62-yard TD run by Ryan Andrews. Third score of the night for this Oriole team.
Speaking of the McPherson game, Crusader Sports Network, for our class, we do have some special things coming up, like hype videos, and it's going to be a good week for McPherson Week.
Tyler Coles with a PAT, and it's now 41-21. 57 seconds left in the third here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Your dusty or muddy driveway, APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Mount Ridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Mount Ridge. Member NCUA.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
You know, it's supposed to be a nice weekend. I was just thinking it's going to be a little chilly for that 9 a.m. soccer game tomorrow morning.
No doubt.
Yeah, we got showcase baseball tomorrow in Concordia, so I'm a little worried to see how cold it is too.
41-21 Crusaders after a 62-yard touchdown run by Ryan Andrews. 2 plays, 68 yards on that drive for the O's. And the squib against the wind takes a bounce, picked up at the 25. Levi Perez will return it to the Bueller 40-yard line. And the Maroon Crew with 52 ticks left. Good place to start here in this third quarter late.
Yeah, so Augusta just had the big run, so now the Crusaders need to answer. They've got the 3-score lead going right now, need to try to stretch that back out. And the good news, fellas, we will have the wind the rest of the game, so voice-wise.
6 touchdown runs for Sam Elliott tonight from the 40. 1st and 10 out of the I formation. Brad will take the snap. Right to Elliott on the ground, 45-50. Breaks out of a tackle, scampers right, 40, 35-30, 25-20, and up into there. Boy, how many big runs can Sam Elliott have tonight? Good grief.
You can tell he is really just kind of just wearing out that Augusta defense as their tackling is just kind of getting – they are tired of seeing Mr. Elliott come right at him.
And I have a feeling he's going to top his personal record from last week big time.
That is a 42-yard run. His longest tonight is 43. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. The only bad part about this big offense is it's not keeping our defense on the sideline very long. Out of the I formation, 2 receivers left on 1st and 10 for the Crusaders. Back in the Oriole red zone. Inside handoff to Roland, the fullback. And he's going to be stopped for a loss of 1 at the 19-yard line.
I think that's going to be the last play of the third.
7 seconds left in the third, 12 minutes to go here in Augusta tonight in Butler County for a second week in a row. Can Bueller make it 2-4-2? They beat El Dorado last week. And leading Augusta tonight, 41-29. Fourth quarter coming up from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Crusader football on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network.
Not only do you receive more personalized service, but we also have the knowledge and passion for all the products we sell. This is Jenny from Jackson Meat. We encourage you to experience the local difference when you shop with us. Jackson Meat, 13 West 6th Avenue, downtown Hutchinson.
Need a little morale pick-me-up in your office? Did you know updating your old fluorescent troffers with flat panel LEDs can boost employee morale and productivity? Sunflower Electric will come to your office, lay out a design, and provide a free estimate that can have big dividends. New flat panel LEDs give better lighting output using less wattage and lasting longer, which means savings for you. Call today at 620-662-0531 or stop by your local Sunflower Electric supply in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9.
Sam Elliott has tied the school record for touchdowns in a game 3 other guys who've done it: Jordan Oden, Tannen Fisher, and Riley Allen. Boy, there is a trio of running backs.
Yeah, I was going to say, some big names in the pantheon of Buhler backs.
Between those 3, they own, I think, every Buhler rushing record there is. And Sam Elliott just tied him with his 6th touchdown a little bit ago. Pretty cool.
Yep, has the opportunity to break the school record, and there's still a full quarter to go.
What is the school record, by the way?
6 TDs.
All right.
So 2nd and 11 here at the 19. New 12 minutes put on the clock for the 4th. Buehler's going to go to right to left here in the final period. Elliott.
Wilcox in on the stop for Augusta, so a battle there between 2 of the better backs for both these squads.
And we talked a lot about Eli Wilcox, impressive on both offense and defense tonight, now with 3rd down and 12 at the 20.
So I don't know if they know downstairs that he's got the school record. Traditionally, Coach Warner is one of those guys that just wants to play ball, and can't hardly blame him.
I formation on 3rd and long. Clock running. Brad to throw. Looking. Throws near side. Caught. Did he stay in bounds? Inside the 10, right at the stick at the 9. I'm not sure Brock stayed in bounds.
The official on the far side is going to say he was out of bounds. If it was the college or pro level, they'd be taking a look at it upstairs.
Well, we do have camera footage.
Yes. So what is the replay say?
Did he keep that foot in bounds?
From up here, honestly, I'd say no.
Okay. So it'll be 4th down and 12. Buehler's going to go for it here at the Augusta 20-yard line. 2 receivers left. McCurdy alone to the right side of the formation. And Neal out of the gun. Scrambling under pressure, and he's going to be hit back at the 29.
Wilcox with the sack.
Orioles brought the heat, and they get him down at the 29. It'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, Buhler had some momentum that time, but Augusta, coming out of the quarter break, holds the Crusaders and forces a turnover on downs.
11-12 to go in the game, 41-21 Buhler. And Augusta will start this drive at their own 29.
A bit of trivia. One of those school records of 6 touchdowns in a game was set by Jordan Oden against none other than Augusta back in 2009.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. And hand to throw. Wilcox catches it at the 40. Hit as he threw. Boy, hand just did get that away. Wilcox drags it down to the 45 and move the sticks for a gain of 16, 1st and 10.
Yeah, they slipped Wilcox from the wing just upfield on a little seam route.
From the right hash mark with a wing in motion. Handoff Andrews. Boy, yards have gotten tough to come by for him in the 2nd half, and gets just a yard there forward to the 46.
Yeah, Roland and Van Bruggen in on the stop, and Bo a little bit slow to get up. Has a little giddy up in his step. Hopefully Bo will be okay.
Yeah, one of the guys whose team cannot afford to lose. Bo Van Bruggen. 2nd and 9, right hash mark of the 46. Orioles going left to right here in the 4th. Out of that flex, Wilcox in motion. They're going to pitch to him to the far side, and Buehler, boy, they snuffed that out. Back to the 40. 3 maroon helmets are.
Campbell with yet another big stick in run support that time. He has done a great job of defending the perimeter this evening for Buehler.
Well, he came off the corner and read that perfectly. They'll actually mark Wilcox down at the 42, loss of 4. So 3rd down and long for the O's. Buehler can stop him here. They'll have to kick against that wind.
And that really kind of limits Augusta.
Under center. 2 receivers right side, and they pitch it to Andrews, trying to get to the edge, and chases him out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down.
Really set the edge and helped Colin Rowland snuff him out, and just great job by the Crusaders. They have really protected the edge well this evening, fellas.
I really had a big feeling that they were going to do one of those pitch passes that round.
They caught him out of bounds at the 42. It's kind of the point where Buehler's going to contain that running game. Augusta's going to have to try to throw the football at some point.
Yeah, and that's obviously not their forte. But down 3 scores, if Bueller can put another touchdown on the board, and it looks like Augusta, they line up to go for it here.
They are just 1 of 5 on third down tonight. Watch for the quick kick. His hand is out of the shotgun, and he will punt it away into the wind. It hits at the 35, and it's going to be down at the 33-yard line. So the Crusaders force a punt by the Orioles, and they'll get the ball back here with 9:26 to go, driving with a stiff breeze now here at Hillier Stadium.
Yeah, when you can hear it coming in on the crowd, Mike, or you know that the wind is a-moving, and that flag at the north end zone, it's at one point in the game, maybe in the second quarter, I mean, it was just limp on the flagpole.
1st and 10 Crusaders at their own 34. Here in the fourth, 9:26 left. Leading 41-21 at the right hash mark out of the. And Sam gets the handoff. 7-8 yards for Sam Elliott. Forward progress up to the 43. He picks up 9 on first down.
Yeah, another routine 9-yard carry there for Sam Elliott as he continues to have a big night for Bueller.
Crusader football here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network, brought to you by H&R Block, by Cargill Salt, Crable Tree Clearing, by the Sheeta Metzger Agency, and by Midway Motor. 2nd and 1, clock running. Elliott on the ground, inside carries, got the first down across the 45. Look at that surge, getting some help from his guys up front, and all the way to near midfield. We'll see where they mark him out.
And that was Gavin Patton there on the carry.
Right at the 50.
And a great job that time by Van Bruggen, along with Roland, helping to push the pile.
And was it Patton that ran the ball that time?
Gavin Patton in now.
Let's give Gavin Patton some credit. He's kind of the back in waiting, and he's shown some ability here early in the year.
Oh, he's been a machine for many years, coming up the ranks through Prairie Hills and the JV now.
So 1st and 10 at the 50 as Brock McCurdy goes in motion on the sweep play. McCurdy's going to get it right to left at the 50, gets into Oriole territory, and is drugged down near the 45. The Jets sweep run for the first time tonight, and they'll good carry by Brock as he gets it all the way across the 45 to the 44-yard line in Oriole territory.
I love getting Brock involved in the ground game, and that time Ryan Andrews and McCurdy kind of got in a scuffle at the end, and McCurdy was able to fight through for a couple extra yards at the end of the run.
I would not want to scuffle if I was Brock McCurdy with Ryan Andrews, although he won that one. Brock just 5'10", $145. Andrews at 215. High formation, 2nd down and 4 from the Augusta 44. Gavin Patton in it, running back. Brad under center, takes the snap. Fullback handoff, rolling, nothing there. And he'll be stopped for a loss of 2 back to the 46. Colin Rowland had some success early in the game at that fullback position, but Augusta here, second half, has been able to snuff that out.
Yeah, they've really tried to take away Rowland since they can't take away Elliott. But a 3rd down that'll be interesting to see. Bueller probably, if they don't gain much here, probably away and just try to pin Augusta deep here with.
Down at almost 6, out of the eye, single receiver. The snap and the handoff. Gavin Patton's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward across the 45 to the 44, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, good carry by Gavin as he got hit by Wilcox and was able to keep his balance and fight forward for a couple more yards, but here.
Got 2 yards, setting up a 4th down and 4.
Well, especially with the wind, they could definitely get some quite a bit of range there.
Yep, and you do not want to give Augusta the ball with a short field. Yeah, this is a good smart call here.
I think Augusta's going to call a timeout here. 6:09 left, 41-21, timeout of the field. Bueller up 20 from Augusta, the Crusader Sports Network and HKFM.
Football on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. Bueller Crusader Football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
The veterinarians and staff at Abilene Animal Hospital would like to wish Coach Warner and the Bueller Crusaders a healthy and successful season. The same level of hard work, dedication, and commitment to excel on the field is what we do at Abilene Animal Hospital. We continue to invest in new diagnostics and technology to make every effort to give you and your pet the best care possible. Go Crusaders!
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, on our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard, I've just been told that DeSoto is putting it on Mac up in Topeka tonight, huh?
Yeah, it was 41-21 mid-fourth quarter, but Mac just scored a touchdown with 5:38 left to pull the score to 41-28 in your Bueller Dental Care scoreboard update.
4th down and 4 here out of the timeout for the Crusaders. Augusta calling that timeout. Jeffrey Neal to punt from near midfield, gets it away. And where's it going to land? It lands at the 5, and boy, that's not what you wanted it to do as it bounces into the end zone.
Well, I'm a glass half full guy. You take away any chance of a return there.
That is true. Trying to pin them deep, and they'll start at the 20.
But, yeah, mentioning some of the scores, you know, we've got some others coming in from across the Ad Astra Sports Network. Get to those here just now. On Hit Radio 94.7 KSK, Sterling leading Lions 49-6 as the Black Bears will pick up their first win of the year. On the Ad Astra Radio app and adastradio.com, Gossel over Mound Ridge 36-18 at the half. Last score we have over there.
1st and 10 Orioles from the 20, 6:03 left in a 41-21 game. Bueller's won 11 straight in this series, leads the all-time 28-14. Here is Hand to pass, passes in the backfield to one of his slot backs who is upended at the 14-yard line. That is Ryan Andrews for a loss. Back to the 14. That'll be a loss of 6 on that play.
Just a little outside screen that time. Sam Elliott, one of the linebackers, was the screen killer that time to get the stop as Crusaders starting to rotate some other guys in on the defensive side.
Andover leading Hutch now in the 4th quarter, 14-7. Attica Argonia 46-6 over Pretty Prairie. 2nd and 15 they call it. Out of that flex look. And the quarterback Hand scrambling to the left, throws upfield. He has a man caught. Across the 25 at the 27.
And a smart play made that time by Tanner Tushin, as he could have just obliterated Jet Hand there right as the ball was let go, but no need to give Augusta anything to get fired up about as he lays off at the last minute.
That was Ryan Andrews who caught the pass up to the 27-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 after a 12-yard gain. They'll put a man in motion. Handoff up the middle and nothing there. Boy, that Black Knight front has gotten stiff here in the second half. No gain at the 27, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, it's good to see the guys keeping their intensity up. You know, you have to remember Augusta had scored twice in the first half. They've been limited to just that one score in the second half, so good to see the defense still slinging it out there.
And this is a big play because down 20 late in the game, Augusta's going to go for it. If you stop him here, you have great field position. 4th and 3 at the 27. Hand under center. They'll give it to Wilcox. Squirts free for the first down. They had him initially stopped, able to break a tackle as an Oriole is down. Across the 35 up to the 36.
Yes, Cameron Campbell in on the stop. The high safety making the tackle. Good to see the Oriole up.
On the carry. That is the first 4th down that Augusta has completed tonight. They're just 1 of 3 now, but able to move the chains.
Just the fourth down conversion allowed by Bueller this season.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 36. Hand takes the snap. Pitch to Andrews. They were going to go with the reverse to Wilcox, but miscommunication there, and Andrews got popped big time back at the 30. Looked like they were going to reverse to Wilcox, but it just never worked out, and they'll call Andrews down at the 32-yard line.
Deontay Campbell, again, a great job just turning the play back inside. Tanner Tushin in on the big stop for Bueller.
And so Augusta facing another long yardage situation. 2nd and 14 back to the 32. They'll come to the line with 18 on the clock, 3:15 left in the game, 41-21. Out of that flex with a man in motion. Give it to their fullback and nothing there.
Yeah, just that little counter play that they had success earlier on, but the Bueller defense doing just a great job of getting to the football. The pursuit tonight, Aaron, has been fantastic.
Well, much like they did last week against El Dorado, this run-stopping defense has gotten stronger as the game has gone on.
And when you're dealing with these teams that are run-first teams, if they can't run the football, it really starts limiting and making the play calling that much more difficult.
So it'll be 3rd and 14. Goddard Eisenhower leading or trailing Goddard 14-10 in the 4th. May South 21, Newton 10. Smoky Valley and Goodland tied at 6 in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. Hand under center.
Update out of Washburn Rural. The Pups making it interesting. They scored. They pulled within 6, 41-35 with 2:34 left.
McPherson and Bueller at Crusader Stadium next Friday night to renew their rivalry. Mac has won 4 in a row in the series. 41-35. It's tight. Andover still up over Hutch 14-7. That's a final now, so Andover has handed the Hutch Salthawks their first loss of the season. 4th down and 14 for Augusta. Spread look. Just throws it in the ground as he was about to be obliterated by Vauban Bruggen. Are they going to call roughing the passer there?
Well, there was some lobbying there by Jet Hand at the end of the play. It was a screen pass. It could go upfield, but to me that was a bang-bang play. It wasn't like Hand let go of it and then 10 seconds later got hit. I mean,
well, I don't think it was Van Bruggen. Who else was back there? But what are you going to do?
Wow. Well, it was one of those deals. Hand got hit at the end of the play, but I mean, to me, there was nothing malicious in the play, and I'm not just saying it because it was Bueller guys, but Hand for a call. Let's see what the white hat decides.
It's going to come over for the explanation.
It is roughing the passer on Bueller, so that's
a tough call.
15-yard penalty. Oh, now also an unsportsmanlike on Augusta, so it's offsetting.
So those will offset, and they'll replay 4th down. You know, there are times when roughing the passer is necessary, but when you're within inches of the quarterback, there's no way you're going to stop yourself from running into it.
You can't hit the brake. Players can't stop on a dime.
Just impossible. Tough to ask.
All right, so clock stops on the penalty.
Smoky Valley now up in the 4th on Goodland, 14-6. Paola leads Wamego. Wamego coming into the night, the 3rd team in the West, and they're getting blitzed 48-7 by Paola. Fourth quarter so far, Inman has blanked Plainville 28-0. And Mays now leading Salina South 58-13. 4th and 14, they replay the down with the offsetting penalties. Left. And Hand being pursued again, just tosses it up in the air. Boy, that is, it goes out of bounds. If that doesn't go out of bounds, that's a tailor-made ball for an INT.
Yeah, Levi Perez and the guys are licking their chops on it. The closest Augusta Oriole to that was Chris Wilson, one of the D tackles hanging out at the 50.
They will have it at the Augusta 32. Where's Sam Elliott at?
I think he's retired for the night as the JVO going to be in here, and we'll see if they can have some success. Of course, the JV. So, Mandels JV.
So it'll be Levi Atherton and Gavin Patton in the backfield behind Jeffrey Neal, who's going to be the freshman quarterback. That was the last time a freshman took a snap in a varsity game for the Crusaders.
Ethan White did it in a state title game a million years ago.
The very last play of the game, he did. Inside handoff, Patton. Well, all Jeffrey's going to have to do here is snap the ball and hand it off.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. There isn't going to be any going upstairs for the Crusaders as they want to continue to burn this clock out.
Forward progress to the 30. Jeffrey is the quarterback of the freshman team. Matthew Eddy, the quarterback this year of the JV.
Both of them saw action in the combo JV freshman game.
And of course, Matthew is getting a lot of varsity time here, so he's retired over on the sideline as well. 2nd and 8 at the 30 after a gain of 2 by Patton. Inside handoff. Keeper actually by Neal. And Jeffrey pushes forward to the 26-yard line and picks up a gain of 4.
Yeah, pulls it on the belly series, does a nice job of following Atherton for a few more yards, and so a 3rd and under 5 here for the Crusaders as we go under a minute.
We talked about Matthew Eddy. He's been getting a lot of playing time at that linebacker position for the varsity and been playing very well.
Well, I tell you what, in Monday night's JV game, he had one of the biggest hits of the night, and it was when he was running quarterback, just hit an hand.
Got Atherton and Patton behind him. He'll hand it off to Gavin Patton. And Patton falls forward up to close to the 23-yard line. 42 seconds left.
And Bueller, I do not believe, is going to have to snap it again as the
the
play clock is right on the...
they are identical almost. Boy, how often does that happen where they're almost exactly the same?
That'll allow the Crusaders to just stay in their huddle and let time expire, but I tell you what, this Augusta team, not a bad team at all, but this was definitely by far the best all-around game for the Crusaders this season.
Well, since that win in Bueller in 2006 for Augusta, Bueller has dominated the series now, winning 12 straight. They've always been tough physical games, and even tonight, Bueller wins by 20, but this is a tough, physical Oriole team, and that'll do it. Clock runs out, and Bueller is going to win it as the wind really whips up now here at Hilliard Stadium. I think we will be closing the windows for the post game. Bueller wins it 41-21. The Crusaders move to 3-0 in the league and 3-1 overall, and they will return home for 2 in a row. McPherson next week, followed by Wellington on October 16th. The Augusta Orioles lose their 2nd straight. They are 1-2 in the league and 1-4 overall. They are home again next Friday night, their final home game of the season, as they will host the Winfield Vikings. 6 touchdowns, ties a record for Sam Elliott tonight, as he was a beast. And we don't have the official numbers at this point, but we're guessing another career high tonight for Sam for a 3rd week in a row. I would be shocked if it wasn't for Sam Elliott. Bueller got off to that great start with the 3 scores in the first quarter. And (41-21) is your final. And our Shirt Shack post game begins next here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Exclusive coverage of Crusader football on HKFM. Stay tuned for the Shirt Shack post-game show. We'll bring you analysis and break down the numbers from tonight's game. The Bueller Crusaders on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Do you bleed maroon and white? Do you want to help the students of BHS in their extracurricular activities? The Bueller High Booster Club helps support hundreds of students each year. To join, stop by the Bueller Closet at any home game or email.
Physicals, a yearly financial checkup, can help make sure you're on track for well-being. This is Monty Cross with HCU Investment and Insurance Services, and we specialize in thoughtful investment guidance aimed at keeping your finances in shape. To schedule a checkup with a financial consultant, visit hcu.coop/checkup or call 620-669-0177. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance products offered through LPL Financial or its licensed affiliates.
Hi, this is Cliff Ray with Ray & Sons Roofing Company, and today I brought our 4-year-old grandson, Brogan. Brogan, did you know Ray & Sons Roofing is 80 years old this year? Do you know what that means?
No, Papa.
It means we have a lot of experience. Brogan, did you know we have been the best of the best every year? You know what that means?
What, Papa?
People trust us, and that's a very good thing. For a free inspection or estimate, go to rayandsons.com.
Roof the right way, the right way.
First National Bank is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. We have an experienced staff prepared to provide you with a variety of banking solutions. Please visit our website, fnbhutch.bank. That's fnbhutch.bank.
Including inside Dillon's Marketplace. First National Bank of Hutchinson. Member FDIC.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Well, welcome back here on our Shirt Shack postgame tonight here on 95.9 HKFM. Thank you, sir. As the Crusaders win it by a final score of 41-21. And dominant night by that running game. Started with those 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Sam Elliott was impressive, but his offensive line, give them credit again, a second week in a row where they have done a fantastic job.
Well, such a great job because literally Sam was getting tackled consistently tonight by members of the Augusta secondary, and that means that the defenders or the offensive line is doing a good job of taking care of the O-line and the linebacking core and putting all the pressure on the safeties and corners to make the stops.
And talked about that defense. They gave up those 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. I thought they adjusted, although Augusta did score once in the second half. I thought, again, tonight they got stronger as the game went on.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Wilcox was kind of a bright spot for Augusta, had him playing with a little bit of passion and moxie, and then the defense just continued to grind away and really kept their intensity up throughout the game. They really didn't have any of those moments where you felt like, man, the defense is kind of having some letdowns. I mean, they just played a good, solid, all-around game.
Well, Coach Warner in the pregame tonight said they're going to throw something at you that we're going to have to adjust for. A little wrinkle, and that was Wilcox in the second quarter.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Crusaders did a great job of taking away Ryan Andrews. I mean, he was pretty much a non-factor for a good chunk of the game. And out of the flex bone, if the fullback is having trouble contributing, that's saying something about how well your defense is playing.
Well, let's go inside our final numbers tonight, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at adamsbrowncpa.com. Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs above and beyond. Of course, the 3 Elliott touchdowns in the first quarter, drives touchdown runs of 1, 37, and 7 yards. It was 21-0 after 1. Augusta got on the board in the second. Eli Wilcox on a 13-yard 21-7. Bueller answered right back on an 80-yard drive that capped off with a 23-yard Sam Elliott touchdown run. Then Wilcox again, this time on the pass from jet hand for 18 yards. Inside a minute to play in the half. It's 28-14. That would be our halftime score. Bueller came out in the third quarter. Sam Elliott got his 5th touchdown of the night on a 7-yard run with 6:31 to play in the third. That made it 34-14. And then Sam's final score went for 19 yards left in the third. 41-14 our score. One more score by Augusta, a 62-yard Ryan Andrews run. That was by far his biggest of the night, made it 41-21. And that would be your final score. Tough when you can't run the ball to win. If you can't. For Buellers, they've worked on that passing game. I thought there were moments tonight where Brad looked pretty good. I kind of wipe away as they were trying to score there late at the end of the first half, and Brad's just desperation trying to make something happen. So, that's kind of one of those INTs, and I kind of wiped that one away. I thought for the most part, took a couple of big hits tonight, but I thought Brad made some nice throws.
Well, and I know I've talked about it multiple times tonight, but the fact that so many different receivers had receptions tonight for the Crusaders, that's a testament of Bradley doing a nice job of vision and not just locking on to one receiver, and that makes it that much more difficult to try to defend a team when there's more than 1 or 2 guys that can catch a football.
All right, well, we'll talk to the fellas. Coming up, we'll get you our play and player of the game on the way, and we'll hear post-game comments from head coach Steve Warner. 41-21, the final from Augusta tonight. Our Shirt Shack postgame continues after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Coming up, we'll revisit the key stats with today's Mid-Kansas Credit Union game recap and hear from head coach Steve Warner. Crusader football is streaming online at AdAstraRadio.com and on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app.
At Adams Brown, our clients are the center of everything we do. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We're proud to have been named to the Inside Public Accountants Top 200 Firms for our 5th consecutive year. Adams Brown, Strategic Allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
The Cosmosphere had an unfortunate incident where sewage started to leak into the museum level. Given that we are supposed to care for and protect historic artifacts, we immediately called Phoenix Restoration because we knew Ryan and his team that would work with us and get the situation eliminated so we could continue our operation.
Reno County's only locally owned fire and water restoration company is Phoenix Restoration. They'll help you rise again after your disaster. Online at phoenixrestoration.com.
Bueller Crusader FM.
All right, back on our Shirt Shack post game, joined by head coach Steve Warner now. And, of course, in typical coach fashion, I complained about the weather, and he said he didn't even notice. So.
I didn't notice much wind. I didn't. Of course, we're on the ground running the ball. We're not going to worry about it too much. No, it's a perfect night for football. Beautiful out. Beautiful fall weather.
Talk about your tailback 3 weeks in a row, Coach. I feel where he's just gotten better and better, and of course combo that with the fact that your offensive line continues to gel as well.
Well, they really do. I mean, they're working hard for him, and he just is so explosive and quick, and strong, and it takes more than one guy to bring him down. And I thought we did a great job of getting to the linebackers tonight too. There was maybe one or two plays where we didn't get to the linebackers, and we still got 5 yards. So that tells you that our push that we're getting. So, Trevor Cooper and Jarrett Christensen, Bo Van Bruggen on the big side are doing a great job. Corey Gilbert in the middle, and we rotate Tanner Houston and Gabe Barnes at the quick guard, and then Jackson Child on the quick tackle. They're just playing outstanding, and we've got to continue to do that because we have some holes and some weaknesses that we've got to work on defense, but we also know that we still are in the growing phase. We missed a game. We're in week 5 at game 4, and returned 2 starters, so we've got to continue to run the ball and be able to keep the ball out of our opponent's hands.
Yeah, Sam had a cutback. I think it was at the south end in the first half, just jaw-dropping. He stopped, switched directions, made a beautiful cut. I was really seeing the ball on seeing the field very well. So
very well. You're right. It's amazing how he can put his foot in the ground and change directions instantly at full speed, and again, just with the power that he has and the vision. And I'm sure as a lineman they're having a blast blocking for him because they don't have to. It doesn't take much of a hole for him to get through.
And he tied a record tonight, Coach. You know that he tied a record with 6 touchdowns. That is a school record. He joins Tanner Fisher, Jordan Oden, and Riley Allen, all 4 now with 6 touchdowns in some pretty elite company there.
I was going to say, those 3 names that you just mentioned are pretty amazing tailbacks, and I think the 4th one you mentioned was going to be outstanding and already is. That's great to hear because he is in great company.
Well, your defense, you talked about still some things to work on, but I thought similar to last week, they got stronger as the game went along, and by the 3rd quarter, Coach, you were really doing, other than that one big Andrews touchdown run, you were doing a fantastic job of shutting them down.
We really were, and that was a lot of fun to watch our tackle from a safety position. And he got run over earlier in the game, and the guy obviously a big fullback that ran him over, but he learned that he's growing pains that we have to take on occasion. But when you see the improvement in the middle of the game, that's how we're going to get better. Yes, we've seen it at practice, but we want to improve in the game, and we improved in the middle of the game, and that's exciting to see.
All right, well, a big win, Coach, tonight that sets you up for a big one next week, and certainly we'll talk about McPherson on Monday night, but very likely that kind of decides who wins the league titles. So there's still
well, realistically, it does, and it's going to be a big game, and we're excited for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you and I mentioned just the momentum and confidence continues to build in this team, and man, let's keep that going. I think that plays well into your hand as you get later in the year. So
I think it does. Every week we get better with this group because they are young and inexperienced. Only 9 seniors, so obviously the future looks good, and we're very excited.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you Monday night.
Thank you.
That is Coach Warner, very happy with the improvements of his young team. You heard him say still some things we're working on is they've lost time. They didn't have some practice in the offseason. They missed a week here not playing Andover Central in the middle of the season, but starting to see the fruit of the labor come together. And, we'll see what they have next week against one of the best teams in 4A.
Yeah, well, Aaron, you talked about it when you were discussing some of the other sports for Bueller. A big part of sports is peaking at the right time. And anybody that's watched the Crusaders this year, they have continued to get better each and every single week. And it's good to see the guys clicking on all cylinders, in the 4th game of the season, and to really have some momentum going into – no offense to any of the other scheduled opponents from the regular season, but probably the most difficult team year in and year out is our friends from up K61.
All right, well, I was not in on the conversation for play and player of the game. I'm going to take a wild guess at who the player of the game is. I don't know how you couldn't pick him.
Yeah, that's what – when you agree up top, boys?
Oh, yeah, I'm probably thinking what you're thinking. Same
here. He wears number 20.
Yeah, school records like that don't get tied every night of the week. And well, you guys had the vantage point upstairs. Talk a little bit about what you thought about Mr. Elliott this evening.
Just absolutely phenomenal. But once again, he can't do anything. Well, he can do a lot of it with his yards after contact, but also got to give credit to the offensive line and his lead blockers, but just his explosiveness and just being able, his patience behind the blockers is just absolutely phenomenal. And he's seen the field so well this year.
All right, Sam Elliott is our Wifco Steel Products Man of Steel tonight.
I can say I'm not too familiar with football, but from being up here, he knows a lot about the sport.
Well, Colton, we got you a good taste of football tonight up there in that's real football weather upstairs. So
yeah, I told Tyler at the beginning of the season, I said, we're going to have to deal with these cold nights here soon.
Hey, we'll be inside where we have heat next week, buddy. So
I'm glad.
Our Wifco Steel Products Man of Steel tonight is Sam Elliott. From storage tanks to steel walkways, stairways, and platforms, Wifco Steel Products, the expert in steel fabrication, online at wifcosp.com. And how about a Dix Phillips 66 Phillip of the game? What do we got there?
Well, we talked about it a little bit to spread the wealth. I think it's kind of some of those hidden yards as they talk about it. Brock McCurdy had those 2 great returns that brought the ball out to midfield, and so kind of a conglomeration of those 2, wouldn't you say, Tyler? I know there were some other great plays made this evening, but that was something that definitely stood out.
Well, so definitely I think, was it both times that Augusta scored, especially the first time when Augusta had the advantage point, they were probably getting a little hope in them. And then when Brock basically crushed their dreams, I kind of, on the collegiate standpoint, even though this is high school, I kind of thought last year the Mississippi State K-State game when Malik Knowles took it to the house right after Mississippi State scored to grab the lead or to tie the game. But just Brock being able to get to the 50 or 48 or close enough to the midfield, just being able to basically crush Augusta's dreams of trying to come back.
All right, 2 big kickoff returns or punt returns by Brock McCurdy tonight is our Dix Phillips 66 Phillip of the game. Phillip on top-tier gasoline, snacks, and more at Dix Phillips 66, family-owned for nearly 60 years. Every journey begins at a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch. We'll come back to wrap it up right after this. Our Shirt Jack postgame on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
For the Crusader Coaches Show, live from AJ Sports Grill, Monday nights at 6:30 on HKFM. Your home for Crusader football is Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
Rise Up Reno Prevention Network wants to encourage you to coach your kids through more than just homework. frequent conversations about alcohol and other drugs. Talking with your kids is the first step towards keeping them safe. For tips, www.underagedrinking.amhsa.gov. Check us out at riseupreno.org. Rise up, Reno.
Yoder Meats is way more than just meat, but if you're looking for grain-fed, locally raised, antibiotic-free, and no hormone-added beef, Yoder Meats is the place. Feed the family with your choice of bundles or smaller butcher bags designed with a variety of meats to fit your needs. They have exotic meats too, and a wide variety of delicious cheeses, baked goods, groceries, specialty candies, gift items, and even products for your pet. Get it all at Yoder Meats in Yoder, open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Find specials at yodermeatsks.com.
IdeaTech brings the fastest, most reliable internet service to rural towns in our region, and we back it up with the friendliest customer service based right out of Bueller. With our fully fiber optic network, IdeaTech customers can enjoy speeds faster than those in the largest cities in the U.S., serving small communities in south central Kansas and select parts of Hutchinson. Visit ideatech.com or call us at 620-543-5000 to learn more.
Hutch Rec is your community recreation provider. We're passionate in bringing healthy living opportunities through our youth and adult sports, wellness and fitness classes, and several of our community events and races. We're also your community spirit provider, offering endless recreational opportunities at Dillon Nature Center, Senior Center at Elmdale Park, the Sports Arena, plus Hutch Rec downtown. See all of the community spirit and healthy living opportunities Hutch Rec provides your community at hutchrec.com and on our Hutch Rec Facebook page.
Bueller Crusader football is on Oldies 95.9 HKFM.
And back here to wrap it up on our Shirt Shack post game as we take another gander into our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. I'm going to have to get back to my Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. Let's see here, Christopher. What do we got? DeSoto beats McPherson tonight?
Matt gets their first loss on the season, 41-35. So that's kind of a big one as that moves McPherson out of the number 1 seed in the West. Andover Central now takes over that spot. And we'll try to get some finals from elsewhere on the Ad-Astra Sports Network as you peruse the interwebs.
Yes, Trinity Catholic blanks Marion tonight. 5-0 are the Fighting Celts. 41-0 all over Marion. So they've got a couple of big games coming up, but a big win for Trinity tonight. Elsewhere, Wichita County beat Ness City 58-8. Topeka Hayden 43. Osawatomie 6. Collegiate over Wichita Trinity tonight 55-14.
Oh, I've got a score for you, Aaron. Some City League action.
Garden Plain blanks Chaparral 37-0.
Just because it was crazy high. Northwest beat North tonight 92-0.
Wow, that's a lot of points. Smoky Valley 14, Goodland 14. That is tied in the 4th. Victoria in a final beats Central Plains tonight in 8-man action 28-14. We mentioned DeSoto 41, McPherson 35. Hoisington beats Minneapolis 27-6. Perry-Lecompton over Winfield tonight. Big score 41-13 is the final there. Fourth quarter, Ellsworth 27, Norton 20, Dodge City 35, Great Bend 14. Coffeyville in the fourth leading Mulvane 20-18. Other finals, Mays 58, Salina South 13. Sterling beats Lions tonight in a big way, 62-6. Inman 35, Plainville 7. That is a final as well. And the last, final now, Andover beats Hutch to hand the Salthawks their first loss of the year, 14-7. Those are some other final scores we have in our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard, from regular teeth cleanings to advanced periodontal work. Your hometown dentist, Bueller Dental Care, online at BuellerDentalCare.com. Well, fellas, big win tonight. Looking forward to next week. Next 2 weeks, some home cooking at Crusader Stadium. The Pups come to town next Friday night at 7 o'clock.
And always, I know, McPherson week, a big week for the Crusaders. And, yeah, I think the big thing this week's going to be kind of adapting to hybrid learning and, having a preparation week. This year has just been 2020 is a year that everything's different, and the teams that can roll with the adversity the best are going to be the ones that keep playing late into November, and this group of Crusaders looks like they're pretty good at dealing with adversity.
All right, fellas. Well, thanks for braving the weather for us upstairs tonight and giving us great shots of the game on the Crusader Sports Network. And look forward to we'll let you guys come inside next Friday. So should be a beautiful night in Crusader Stadium for football.
Thank you, Aaron. And I was going to give Colton a shot to just tell you guys the analytics real quick.
How many is this? How many people?
We got up to about 109 tonight with
all right.
500 playbacks.
That's exciting.
Well, and talk about where one of the viewers was from.
There was one viewer saying that he was from central Kansas, and then he's in England right now. So, you know.
Maybe we need an analytics sponsor of the game.
Yeah, there we go.
Give us our numbers. We expect big numbers next week, not because of anything we do. We're just a couple of average Joes who get to paid to talk a lot. But with no crowds being allowed in the stadium tomorrow night, we certainly want to put our best foot forward, do our absolute best to take care of our kiddos and their families.
No doubt about it. It's an honor to get to help bring you these broadcasts, and we'll do our best to give you the best we can next week.
All right, that is going to wrap it up. We've been live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth at Allen Samuels of Hutch, where they're dedicated to helping find you the model that best suits your needs. Next Friday night, home against McPherson, 7 o'clock, 6:25-ish for the Midway Motors drive to the game. And join us Monday night. We'll be live in studio with Coach Steve Warner on our Crusader Sports Talk Coaches Show. 6:30 Monday night, brought to you by Taco John's and Wifco Steel Products. Real quickly, I want to give a good look shout out this weekend to our Bueller cross country team. Best of luck tomorrow in Newton, and a lot of great postseason sports action coming your way. We're going to do our best to cover as much of it as we can. Tennis goes to league next week, and then regionals, they'll host that at the Bueller tennis courts coming up in about a week or so. So looking forward to all that. A lot to do.
Yeah, October means postseason, and
it's coming up.
It is. It is exciting time, and good to see all the Crusader athletes, guys and gals, representing the school well as they always do.
All right, everybody, have a fine evening for Chris Shank. Upstairs, Tyler Adams and Colton Hines. Aaron West, you've been listening to Crusader Football on the Crusader Sports Network and HKFM.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.